Isn't that crazy? Oh
And we are live. Hey everybody, this is, sorry.
Hi.
Of course our software is not cooperating with us. Everybody, this is Mark Nugent. We're live with Amy Fan West and also Kelly Earnby. And of course the camera switched on me right before it went live. Roll the intro. There you go.
Hey everybody, Hogs Twins here.
Hey, do you live in Irvine, Orange County, California? You better be listening to Mark Nugent.
Yeah, you better be watching Mark Nugent Live for his political updates regarding Orange County, the school board, the city, the county congressional races.
Yeah, he's gonna make Orange County great again.
Yeah.
And we are back. How's it going, everybody? So we're live. It's gonna take us a minute. We don't have a script today. We've got Amy Fan West, Kelly Earnby, and next will be, what's his name again?
Greg.
Whose house I'm at?
Greg Grass.
Greg Grass. Reminds me of the time that you're like, oh yeah, and we've got Ben Chapman for Costa Mesa City Council, and that guy just come up here. Anyway, so no script, nothing. We just got a bunch of people talking. We're doing a marathon today.
Yeah, I like
So when
that.
you guys hear this buzzer, where's the buzzer?
Right here. I'll be in charge of it.
Every 5 minutes, we get make it go. So every time you guys hear this, we're gonna go check out the candidate websites and we're gonna ask for donation. Myself and my co-host will be here for the next 3 to 4 hours until we get tired. We're gonna swap out and interview multiple candidates and ask them to for you guys to their live stream. The goal is $2,000 per candidate tonight. Last time we did this, we got $2,000 in 2 hours for Colonel Greg Rath for U.S. Congress. So.
Nice.
Up first, we have Amy Fan West, and then
Hi, everyone.
so we can even also we can cut in Kelly Earnby on split screen, so you're on the screen now too. So you can see yourself. So
Good evening, everyone.
both of you guys have commercials, so we'll figure we'll go show those. You guys want to watch your commercial? Which one first?
Doesn't matter.
Okay, let's watch Kelly's. It is pretty short.
Is this my commercial?
Your
about
commercial.
Immigration.
Yep.
Just where I stand on immigration.
Hi, I'm Kelly Earnby. I'm running for the state assembly. I want to end sanctuary cities. I want to stop free handouts to the illegal immigrants so we can return our state to law and order once again. I will fight to protect our borders. We have a legal system. We need to follow it. Vote for Kelly Earnby for assembly.
And we're back. So
Hi.
I know we're not scripted at all.
No, I love it. It's
So.
perfect. Let's free flow.
Okay, so we're working with software. I know we're broadcasting on Amy's website, or Amy's social media, Kelly's social media, and Greg's and my own, and Ben Chapman's. So next,
You want to watch my
her
show?
yeah,
Commercial?
we'll do Amy's commercial next.
Striving for freedom, you know, a land of opportunity, which is America. Everyone flocked to America. Hi, my name is Amy Fan West. I'm running for Congress for the 47th District, which is from Westminster all the way up to Long Beach. I escaped Vietnam when I was 4 years old. My dad, when he was 11 years old, on a fishing boat with my grandpa, and the communist regime came into our village and killed my grandpa, shot him 16 times. He died. My dad promised when he gets older, he's gonna go fight the communist regime. And so when he was 16, he changed his age to 18 so he can go join the war and help the Americans to fight the communist regime. So that's what he did. He got injured 3 times and then got sent home. And then when he got home, he married my mom. And then that's when the communists took over Vietnam. He and my mom went to the jungle to live, to hide away from the communist regime, because if they find out, they will kill him. And so there in the jungle, he gave birth to my older sister, myself, and then my 2 twin younger brothers. And before the first attempt to escape Vietnam, he got imprisoned by the communist regime for 6 months, and they tortured him. And I don't ask him, what happened, but you can imagine. So then they let him out. A year later, he told my mom, he said, if we stay here, we will die in the hands of the communist regime. But if we leave, at least we die as a free people in the sea. So he gathered my family. My mom was 6 months pregnant with my younger sister. My older sister, me, and my 2 twin younger brother hid us underneath the fishing boat, head out in the early morning. As a fisherman, so no one would know, he's just going out. And so whatever food supply we have, whatever clothes on we have, water supply, that's what we went. In 3 days, we ran out of fresh water. But thank God, by the grace of God, by the oil tanker out there, the German oil tanker, took us in, give us food, water, and sent us over to Thailand refugee camps. And there, we were there for a year and a half. We're trying to seek asylum to come to America. And I remember we were sleeping on dirt ground in the refugee camp in Thailand. There wasn't beds. There wasn't hot water for shower. Water supply was not there. It was limited. Food supply, a lot of rotten food, because the embassy, when they give money to the Thailand people, they pocket it for themselves and buy really spoiled food for us to feed the refugee people. And people were starving there, and they're fighting just to get water. And so I remember all those things, and we're sleeping on dirt ground. So the hardship I understand as a refugee, and the striving for freedom, a land of opportunity, which is America. Everyone flocked to America because they know this is where they can have the freedom to be successful, freedom to speak their mind, freedom to work, freedom to provide for their family. So then we were sent over to the Philippines for 6 months, and they flew us over to Huntington Beach, California, and surround us, our Christian community that share the gospel to us. And we are proud American, Vietnamese American. And we love this country. We love the freedom that afford us here. And I want to fight to preserve that freedom that we have here. This country is great is because it's upheld by our constitutional right. It's not like North Korea, dictatorship, or communist China, or Vietnam, or Venezuela. It is a free country, free nation that basically allow us to be thriving and to be successful. Hi, my name is Amy Fan West. Vote for me on March 3rd, 2020. Learn more at amyfanwestforcongress.com.
And we are back with Kelly and Amy. So next we're going to watch Greg Rath's One Last Mission, and he is also here to answer your questions live. Feel free to send comments. Most of this stream tonight will be us reacting to your comments directly and answering your questions. Won't be any more script or format tonight. So One Last Mission by Greg Rath.
I moved to Orange County in 1978 as a young first lieutenant in the Marine Corps. It was beautiful then, just as it is now. As a jet fighter pilot, I traveled around the world, the Middle East, Australia, the Far East, South America, and Europe. I saw my share of combat. 300 plus carrier landings and 75 combat missions will make you long for solid ground in coming home. In Washington, I've seen how a political crisis like an impeachment can put the country on shaky ground, threatening our unity and our national security. But I've also seen how getting involved can make a difference. As mayor of Mission Viejo, my mission has been to make this great place even better, and I did. Today, my children are having children, and I want them to grow up in a safe environment. As your representative for California's 45th Congressional District, my last mission would be to keep Orange County secure and prosperous for all of our families. I am Greg Rath, and I approve this message.
Okay, and we were back. So I'm going to show you guys their websites real quick. There was some comments of where is the, they had a question of where to donate. So I'm going to show you guys really quick on a screen share of where to donate. So here you go. There is gregraths.com if you want to donate to Greg. Greg is here to answer your questions as well. So you can just check that one right out. Oh, there it is right there. There's the issues. There's all information about Greg. And to donate, you donate right in the red box. So I'm sure someone named Cole will chime in how to donate. Talk us through the website. I'm looking at the website right now.
Just go to that red button and
Okay.
do 2020 for 2020, baby.
So why should they donate?
Because Greg has the experience to get things done in Washington.
Okay. All right, so we'll move on to Amy. This is your website right here.
Yeah.
So if you want to talk us through.
Okay, so you see my website right there, the donation highlight in circle red. Donate now. That's the way to do it. Help us to be your voice in DC because we will fight the squad and we will run them over.
Okay.
So donate if you want us to represent you.
Awesome. And last but not least, we're looking at Kelly Earnby's website. There's your website right there. They're looking at that. So
There
you want
it
to talk
is.
about your website a little
Yeah.
bit? This is what they're
See,
looking at.
there's a link to donate, and you can click on that, and you can select any amount that you can afford to do. It will help us fight in California. We're going to make sure we can bring our state back to law and order. And I'm a fighter, and I'm going to fight for us again. So if you want to have a fighter, please help me out and donate today. Thank you.
Okay. All right, let me throw it back on us. Some people are texting me. Someone that's supposed to be here tonight, Sonia T. You're supposed to type in the question on the Facebook so everyone can see it, not text me. Okay, so can we have all the candidates tell them a little bit about themselves?
Yeah.
Take a couple minutes to talk about your story. I know we showed some videos, but let the people talk to you. We'll maybe
Yeah.
bounce between Kelly and Amy. Is that okay?
Sure. Okay, you want me to start? Okay, so of course, my name is Amy Fan West. I'm running for Congress for the 47th district, which consists of Westminster all the way up to Long Beach area. And we have the Port of Long Beach, we have the airport of Long Beach, and we have the base of Los Alamitos. So those are national security, and it's vital that we protect that from Lowenthal. My opponent actually want to sell that to the Chinese. As we know, anything that's sold to the Chinese are not good.
Is there anything we could do? Is there anything on the internet we can pull up and talk about that?
I don't know. I guess you can
Okay.
research it because that's what I did. And then once I found out, actually 4 months ago when that happened, I went to DC to talk to Mike Pompeo, and I told him about, of course, I'm running, and also what's going on, and how Lowenthal is trying to sell a port. Because in 2012, under the Obama administration, Obama allowed Lowenthal, basically Lowenthal as part of that, to sell part of the Long Beach port to the Chinese. And then when I went to DC, told Mike Pompeo about it, and then a month later, Trump went public and he said, China, we're buying the port back and get the hell out of Dodge. And I love it. And so now it's back in America possession. So it's very good. And, the thing is that, as a Vietnamese refugee that escaped Vietnam, a communist regime, when I was 4 years old, my dad, took us on a fishing boat. And before he left, he said, God, if you're real, protect my family from Vietnam to America safe, and we'll worship you. So basically, he hid us underneath his fishing boat. And then my older sister, me, my 2 twin younger brother, and my mom was 8 months pregnant with my younger sister. And in the fishing boat, we got whatever supply we have, food, water, and clothes on. That's what we got. We went out, and in 3 days, we ran out of fresh water. And by the grace of God, the German oil tanker took us in, give us food and water supply, and sent us over to Thailand refugee camp. And there, I remember we were seeking asylum for 2.5 years, and we were sleeping on dirt ground.
Well,
We waited for the right way to come here. So I feel like when the people are going through the border without waiting for their turn, it's just a slap in my face, and the hardship, that we got to be here. And, for many Americans who are here, who went the right way, it's a slap in their face as well.
okay.
And so anyways, we were there, and of course, after 2.5 years, they flew us over to Huntington Beach, California,
Okay.
and surround us a Christian community that share the gospel to us. And that's how we became safe. And we are proud American, and we're so appreciative to be here. And the reason why I jumped in the race for Congress is because I cannot have what I experienced in Vietnam to repeat here in America. You know, when I witness women, children getting raped and thrown overboard, I witness, you know, people starving to death and eating dead flesh to survive. And then people being buried alive, you know, because they want to fight against the tyranny. I mean, and making an example of them. That's unacceptable. We cannot have it here in America. This country is great because we have a constitutional rights that it's upholding our freedom of speech, freedom of religion, and freedom to bear arms. I mean, if socialists push, and it does happen in 2020, I mean, we're pretty much done. I mean, we cannot be like Venezuela or the communist China or North Korea or Vietnam. I mean, this country is great. We have the freedom to speak our mind. We're not, you know, and freedom to do things. So I think it's important that we, you know, keep that and fight for that because every generation face that.
Okay. That was our timer to go off to ask you guys to donate to all the candidates. And we had questions as well. That is kellyearnbyforassembly.com. Is that it? The website?
It's just kellyearnby.com. There's no other Kelly Earnby. So.
Okay, kellyearnby.com, amyfanwestforcongress.com, and gregraths.com for donations. I'm going to do a screen share real quick, then we're going to get right back with Kelly Earnby next, and we'll kind of bounce around. So there's Kelly's website right there. There's the donate button. It should be in red, but it's in blue for some reason. You may want to change that to red. Say bright red button off the website.
Aren't all my buttons blue on there?
Yep. Then Amy Fan West, click to donate. And also, whose house we are in right now is Greg Raths, and he'll jump in later. So if you guys could donate $5, $10, $20, we'll get the boss in here and we'll talk to you.
Donate 2020 for 2020, baby.
Okay, so let's go back over to Kelly Earnby. We can also do a split screen, so if the girls want to both talk to each other, and we'll go ahead and do that. So go ahead, Kelly, if you want to talk a little bit, tell us about yourself.
Yeah.
You have the floor.
Thank you. I'm here to talk about California and the problems here. And, you know, I'm sick of the crime and homelessness and watching our governor give all of the illegal immigrants free health care. And I'm sick of watching people like my own brother have to move out of the state, and our neighbors and friends and businesses can't be here anymore. And so I decided to run for the state assembly to go to Sacramento and represent us and fight for us there and our conservative values. And I think what we need with the supermajority of Democrats is a conservative person who's a fighter and an advocate and somebody who's going to not just vote yes or no. And so a little bit about my background, I think you will see makes me perfectly qualified to do this job. So I was born and raised in San Diego. I was born in the Naval Hospital, so I like to say I was born to serve. My family are all veterans, and I was taught the value of hard work. So I worked my way through college. I have an undergraduate degree in biology from UC Santa Barbara. And I went and spent a few years doing marketing and PR for biotechnology and pharmaceutical companies before I attended law school. I was top of my class and editor-in-chief of the Law Review at the University of San Diego School of Law. And because of that, I was recruited by one of the biggest law firms in the world, which is called Gibson, Dunn & Crutcher. They had an office in Orange County and recruited me. I moved to Irvine, and I spent the first almost 10 years of my legal career being a business litigator, which means I'm a fighter and I'm an advocate and I'm in the courts and I present arguments and I win my cases. So I also do a lot of pro bono work. I've always had a heart for public service, and it was ultimately the work I did for the poor and giving a voice to those that didn't have one that really lit a fire inside of me. And that is what led me to leave the big law job, take a 70% pay cut, and go to the district attorney's office, which is where I work now. So I've been at the DA's office being a county prosecutor representing all of us here in Orange County in the areas of environmental and consumer protection. Some of the cases I've done have been very high profile. They're very complicated, complex cases. One of the cases hit the national news, involved the unlawful sale of fetal tissues. You might have read about that, and that case was one of my cases that I handled and I won. I've also taken the case all the way to the California Supreme Court, where I was privileged to argue for states' rights, and I won. And I've had several third strikers that have been eligible for release thanks to all of the great propositions that our voters have enacted, 36, 47, 57. And I fought a lot of those, one of which was one of the heads of the Mexican mafia. And of course, I worked really hard, and he's still behind bars. So I've done all of that, a lot of hard, complicated cases, and I'm a winner. But at the same time, I worked so hard that I also went back and got a master's degree in public administration from USC while I've been a prosecutor. So when I say we need a fighter and we need an advocate and we need somebody who's going to really work hard for the people in Sacramento, I think you can see from my background that that is something very special that I can bring to all of us. And in addition, as a fresh face for the Republican Party, I mean, it's such an honor to be here with Amy Fan West right now. I feel like we have a comeback with new, fresh leaders for our party. And I'm honored to sit here with someone that's working as hard as I am out there knocking on doors, and we have grassroots following. I have a lot of volunteers, and we are working, making calls and going back to the basics of what it takes to really bring our voices, bring our party back to life, and it's working. And so I'm glad to be here. Thank you, Mark Nugent, for having me here, and we are ready to accept more donations. The buzzard's going on. So if you like what you just heard and you want to help us, it does cost a lot of money to run our campaign. So donate now.
That's right. Thank you.
Awesome. Okay. So where we at? So that buzzer means mic's off. Sorry. Buzzer means time
for
to
money.
So anyway, yeah, greatgrass.com. You guys talk about you guys mentioned your website. What's your website address again?
So amyfanwestforcongress.com. You can donate there with the red button. And Kelly?
It's kellyernby.com, KELLYERNBY.com.
Yes.
Okay, that's Kelly's. And also Greg is with us shortly. So we just changed up where it had a little technical issue, but also another screen changed on me. So just bear with me. So we got a bunch of comments as well.
I've been replying to them, just to let you know.
Oh, you have?
Yes.
Okay. Where is it? Where's the... Okay, there we go. Back to... So we're back here. Okay. That was a bad idea to move it over there. Okay. So they're looking at you, Amy, looking at your camera.
Hi.
So there you go.
I'm
So-
typing in, actually people have been asking who should we elect in different city, and I give them the voter guides, the conservative voter guide with Craig Huey. All they have to do is click on the link, and then not only that, but they can click on their county, and they can find all the assemblies in their district, congressional, and also supervisors.
Okay.
And yeah.
All right, so I'll put you guys in split screen, and we'll talk about some questions from the audience. Michelle says, donate to the candidates. That's your comment. But anything else to add? I know we don't have a script
Hey,
today.
Kelly, I want to ask her something.
Okay, go ask her.
So, I know you mentioned your story and whatnot.
Yeah.
I love it, So what really was on your heart? When you throw your name in the hat to run, what really stirred your heart to do so?
Well, my brother moved to Texas, and that was a lonely Christmas. The first time I spent Christmas, I love my husband very much, but I'm used to having all my family in California. We're multiple generations in Southern California, and he was gone, and I realized, it does look appealing. A lot of people are leaving the state, and my friends and family, and I said, somebody's got to fight for us.
Exactly.
And I firmly believe a lot of people do have one foot in, one foot out. And I think that if we leave, the problems are going to follow us to the next state.
Exactly.
And this is what I do for a living. I do law enforcement. I do legislative work. Statewide policy work is what I've been doing. And I am a public servant. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to do this. And
Awesome.
some of my friends from USC, where I went to the School of Public Policy there, actually encouraged me to run.
That's
and
awesome.
said you have what it takes to do the job, but also build our party back, which is obviously important. We're never going to get anywhere if we stay as a super minority party. So we have a lot of work to do, and I'm the best candidate to do it.
Awesome. Actually, Kelly, I'm really happy that you stay to fight this fight. I mean, we need good people. I mean, as you say, a lot of my friends are leaving as well, and it's sad because, it does look appealing in other states. The taxes are lower, the housing is way better, living is lower, and, they can make more money where the government isn't taking their money, their hard-earned dollars.
Exactly.
And it's very appealing, but then I thought about it, and I bet you thought the same too. It's like, this is where we raise our family, this is where our livelihood is, and we must stay to fight. We
Yes.
fight until we have nothing else to give. But I think that's what both of us are in for. I love
Right.
that.
Yeah, and I'm an advocate for people, you know, and I
Mhm.
listen, and there's so many people, their freedoms are being taken away, their kids don't have a future, and I see that, and I internalize that myself, and I really see a need for somebody who's an advocate, not politics as usual. That's another big thing that I think has been in the way, and people are just tied to puppet strings up there in Sacramento and at DC as well. And so I do think it takes fresh new people to come in who really have the heart for the people at their aim, and that is why again, I think I'm doing a great job. And I think that's why I have such a big following already.
That's
Is
good.
people are hungry for that, and they want real people that are going to really represent them, not politics as usual.
So Kelly, would you say that in 2020, this election is going to be completely different, and where actually the patriot in California is going to rise up? Is that you're predicting as well?
Yeah, I'm feeling it.
Yeah.
You know, you and I are going door to door, and you know, I was out in Huntington Beach today, and people are, you know, so happy to see a new candidate, and it's going really well.
Exactly. I completely agree with you, Kelly. And I think it's vital that, we encourage our patriot in California. Hey, California is not a lost cause. Let's prove them wrong in 2020 election, okay?
Right.
Okay. So we got a question from Tanobi and Haru. And I'll just go ahead and read it, because you can't see my screen, Kelly.
No.
On the topic of the homeless situation in California, do any of you have any thoughts on that note or ideas how to fight this crisis? Now, before you respond, Amy, it's more of a state and county issue. Would you not? Would you agree, Kelly?
Yes.
So,
Well,
would you
the
mind?
federal government could have a role, but
I can read the question again. He's just on
Yeah.
top of the homeless situation in California.
Sure.
Can you share your thoughts on how you some solutions?
yeah, well, there is not a one-size-fits-all solution, and we all know that. This is the biggest, number one problem we're having in California. And the first thing I want to say is what the Democrats want to do and what they're doing is taking a lot of money and trying to throw money at the problem. And you can see that after 2 decades of that, it doesn't work, and it's getting worse and worse and worse. So that doesn't work. And so I actually have on my website, if you go to my issues page, I have a detailed plan set forth on what I think we need to do. And the first step is really treating it as an emergency situation. And this is where, a National Guard or, California Guard of some sort could, treat it as an emergency. Oh,
No, go ahead and finish. I'll just set the timer again. So make sure to donate.
donate.
Okay.
Stop the homelessness. Donate.
Yes.
I hate to interrupt you, but as you're talking about issues on your webpage,
Right.
I have it pulled up, so look at
Oh,
the screen.
good. Yeah, so the first step is really treating it as emergency. I believe that all the homeless, they do need a shower and they need a clean place to be, and that is an emergency. And they shouldn't be dying on the streets while we wait, which is what we're doing to build a perfect house for everyone. We're not going to be able to do this. And we can treat it as emergency. When fires burn down neighborhoods, we make sure all those people have housing. So we can do way better. But then ultimately what I want to do is have a long-term solution. So we need to end this epidemic, which means we need mental health hospitals again. We need to have addiction treatment programs, and we need the law to allow us to enforce the law and put people there. It's tough love, and we need that. You wouldn't let your 2-year-old run around on the street when they're objecting because they would be hurt. And so we need to make sure that we are giving, programs. We need job programs. We need, when criminals are being released onto the street with these propositions.
Hold on. I gotta interrupt you guys. We just had a first donation of the night.
Yay!
Jana Lee donated $50 to Amy Fan West. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
We
Jenna.
really appreciate that.
Yay! Remember, the goal is
Thank you.
$2,000 for Kelly, $2,000 for Amy,
So-
and $2,000 for Greg
So,
tonight.
Let's go back to her
There's also
website.
been a $100 donation for Greg too.
Nice!
Nice.
Yay!
There you go.
Greg!
Any for the other candidates, Ben or Mark?
Oh,
Share the love.
share
So-
the love.
Okay.
Hey, I want to say something on what Kelly said. It's totally correct. It's not one size fit all. And I completely agree. And do you remember in 2000, I believe, 18, where our Orange County supervisor poured tons of money into the homeless problem by giving them voucher? Do you remember that? It was over, I think, 2 point something million that we waste from the taxpayer in Orange County. And we give them a voucher for 6 months and basically hoping that, we'll take care of it. But you know what happened when we rent out that hotel and the homeless people just completely destroyed their hotel. And so we, as the county of Orange County, end up have to pay for that over 3 point something million on top of what we give to the homeless. And so it did not work by giving a voucher. So from now on, moving forward, voucher for homeless problem does not work. Let's fix it, the core issue, especially like you said, allow them to have jobs, teach them those skills, those trade skills. And not only that, but bring back mental illness and, institution to help take care of this problem. And also, the drug epidemic, help them to get clean and faster as well. I like that.
Yeah, no, and then the ultimate additional piece that I would add is there's a lot of people on the bubble, on the cusp of becoming homeless. So that's a big part of what I think the plan needs to be. The elderly, there are military veterans that are on the cusp, and people that are just struggling financially. And we need to figure out who these people are before their RV, which is their home, gets towed away because they lost registration papers. I mean, you just read about these stories and it's crazy. And so, we got to figure out who those people are, and we should do that right now. Because we could be doing this today and making sure those people don't become homeless and add to the problem. And so it's just been a big failure. I think decades of the far left policy of giving the homeless more rights than the law-abiding citizens, it has led us to where we are right now. And we can turn this around. And I do think it is a bipartisan issue, though, I would have to add. I think that we can work together to put together a plan that's going to solve this. And the cities are trying to undertake too much of a burden right now. They can't afford the mental hospitals, every city. So I do think the state has a place in working towards this. And the federal government, if we need, a National Guard emergency, then there could be a role for the federal government as well.
I got a question. What do we do when someone refuses services when they're homeless? They're like, no, I don't want services. I want to stay homeless. What do we do then?
I agree with Kelly when she talked about tough love. It's kind of like us being parents, Sometimes, we have to know what's best for our children, that we kind of help them along, kind of like, in a way, a little push, So same way with the homeless problem, a little push toward that goodness, you know what I mean? Because when I talk to the homeless people in my district, I walk around and the younger, I've noticed, I don't know if you noticed as well, I bet, that they're younger kids on the streets, right?
There's some millennials that just think it's fun.
Well, that's a different
they like
story.
being homeless,
That's a different story. But those who are younger and homeless, what I've noticed and learned as I walk the streets is that those younger kids, I talk to them, I go, why are you on the streets? And they say, because my parents overdosed on drugs. And so when they are put in foster care, and then what happened is they're too old, right, to be adopted.
There's no camera. There's no camera.
They're too old to be adopted. Then what happened is that they're back on the street again. And the person I talked to, she was homeless when she's 20, so she is now 23. And she's been there for 3 years. And she said her friend was 15 when he was homeless. And then now he's 18.
Yeah.
And so she said, help us to get out of this addiction, because we're back on this drug, fentanyl and opioids and heroin that's killing our parents. Now we're addicted to it. Right. Help us get clean. And so I think for me, I bet you agree as well, is what I'm planning to implement is different tiers, okay, of help. So for those who are unfortunate, like, are on the brink of being homeless or just lost their job and they're homeless, right, we can give them the help ASAP and kind of like help them get a job, and whatnot. I think we can do that. And we have 50 seconds. Do you want us to announce donation? Is that what it is?
And I was going to flip a coin and let Greg take a spot for someone that want to take a break.
Okay.
So, no, not yet. Finish your thoughts.
Oh, okay, go ahead, finish.
So we were just talking about people that refuse service, I think was your question. And I've been out with Supervisor Doe interviewing and talking to homeless, and we had a woman that was very sick, and we called and we brought help literally to her tent doorstep, and she refused. And, we heard later, she passed away, and it was, we can't help them because they are refusing. And so it's a very hard problem. And I think we care very deeply to make sure these people ultimately have some place to be and have, showers and bathrooms. That is a public safety crisis when you don't have that. And so we need to do it better. And what we're doing now is not working.
Would you say that a majority of the people that refuse service is because of a drug addiction or because of a mental health issue, or are they somewhat intertwined?
I think it's a combination of things, and the law doesn't help, right? So right now we have our police officers, their hands are tied, so they cannot move a homeless person from where they are, and we used to be able to do that. And we've had the sober living home crisis has brought a lot of people here to get treatment.
Excellent.
And once they fail the program, they're out on the streets again. And it's just the one thing that is the core central link, I think, of everybody on the street is that they don't have a family or friend that they can call. And ultimately, community and our society has failed those people. And so you do have to go, and it's a human thing. The churches, the nonprofits, the government. We cannot rely on the government to just build houses. That does not work. And we all, society needs to come together on this issue. So it's not easy to talk about. That's why it's taken us, probably half an hour just to say, hey, this is such a problem, and we all know it. And that's what I do, is complicated problems, getting the law out of the way and making sure that we are actually helping those people. But at the same time, I want to return society to a law-abiding society. Our regular law-abiding families should be able to use their parks. They should be able to go to the beach in Laguna Beach. And that isn't happening now. So there's a balance, and right now we're too far to the left, and we need to do better.
I think from my experience walking the street is that I notice that a lot of younger people are on the street and they ask me, I need help, and help us before we get too late. And I ask them, what do you mean by too late? What's that? And so they say, somewhere around late 30s. If we're on the street and we're getting addicted to drugs and you don't help us in time, like 35-ish, then we're a lost cause. We're done. We can't get clean. So help us when we need help right now. So for them getting beds, they say it's so hard, the process, because if they miss one day to call to get, because it takes them months, right, to get it. And if they miss a call, they go back to square one again. And so this is the thing. We have to incentivize private corporation to get involved, churches, and also incentivize, nonprofit organization to help. Not only the government like the DMV, as you know, is super slow, right? We don't get anything done at the DMV. So therefore, we need to incentivize private corporation and partnership. That's what I think is going to get the job done.
I agree.
Yeah. Hey, Greg, you're on with us.
All right. So this is a fundraiser. We're here to make money tonight. So our goal is what? $2,000.
So I think she's $19.50 away, and we're 19. So let's
Okay.
get them started.
So
to go to gregrath.com.
So let me pull up your website.
We've got another big mailer going out next week. Each congressional mailer is about $22,000 to get out to the voters.
Okay.
So
Can you walk us through your website? I know it might be a little hard for you to see over
no,
there.
you just go to gregrath.com and then go to donate. It's pretty simple. You put in a credit card, and everybody gives. Say we have 50 viewers, everyone gives $25.
And we're there.
Really?
Yeah.
In addition to that, it takes Apple Pay, so it's instantaneous.
Apple Pay, yeah. You can plus our website, you can buy T-shirts and coffee mugs and hats and make 45th District great again hats, So, but it's I tell you, we've been at this for almost a year now. We're down to 2 weeks to go, and we're really excited. And we've got 2,100 donors so far. We raised almost $500,000. Awesome. We're using it very, very responsibly. Trust me, Nicole will tell you. I'm a very fiscal conservative. I go directly to the mailers. I go directly to the TVs. There's no middleman.
Hold on,
I don't pay a consultant $7,000 a month.
Someone's asking a
Kelly
question.
just got a donation for $50.
All right,
Yay,
Kelly.
Good for Kelly.
From
So, do you want to
Jenna.
jump in and wave to Jenna? Say thank you.
We love the
She
cowbell.
can't see back there. You want to jump in right
There,
here? real
Kelly,
quick?
right there.
Tell
This
Jenna.
girl, Kelly, is an amazing.
Here we go.
Thank you. Oh, wait.
Oh, right there, right there.
There you go.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm sorry to interrupt, Greg. So next we need Greg to get a donation.
No, Kelly's an amazing woman, and she's a tough prosecutor, and she's going to be tough in Sacramento. That's what
Exactly.
we need a fighter. We need someone to get up to Sacramento with the Democrats who have the majority up there and don't take no for an answer. So
Exactly.
she's going to be great. She's the perfect person to run against Petri Norris, or is that the way you pronounce her name? Cotty.
Wow, I'm surrounded by a bunch of fighters.
Cotty's got to go, and I'm running against Katie Porter. And have you watched her? How she talks to these people when she's up on the dais? It's embarrassing.
Yeah.
It is embarrassing. She's a congresswoman. You don't demean the people that you ask questions to. The other day she goes, "I'm asking the questions. You're not answering questions." Who does that? She's a freshman congressman. How dare you do that, Katie? And you got to go. I'm sorry. I'm nothing personal, but your attitude in Washington, the way you treat these people at the dais, is just wrong. I would never.
Very disrespectful.
I would never do that, even to my worst enemies.
Yeah.
The way she treats them, it's like the Nuremberg trials. I'm serious. It's terrible.
Wow.
She's asking some guys, how much do you pay your electrical bill?
Wow.
Come on. You got 10 seconds to give me an answer. Like, get out of here. That's terrible. And you're up in New Hampshire right now, or now where are you now? In Nevada, and you're not back in your district. Trust me, if I'm your congressman, I'm going to be back there in the district when we're not in session working with my
That's
people.
right.
This is just wrong.
Yeah.
Katie, this is just wrong, and you need to go. I'm sorry.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
I'm
actually-
sorry. I'm
no.
venting. I'm just, I watched the way she treated this gentleman the other day on, he was talking about, they're signing up for welfare, and she was just ripping into him, and that's just like it's just, she's been in Congress 1 year, and she's never been another elected official, ever been elected to anything, and the way she treats these people is just wrong. I mean, I grew up, my parents taught me right from wrong. They taught me how to respect people even if you disagree.
Exactly.
And she's not treating people right, and she needs to go. I'm sorry.
I agree with you. And not only that, her dress code is kind of embarrassing. Sorry,
Okay.
I gotta say, because
Okay.
a female can say to another
Oh,
female.
Batwoman?
Okay, I'll gotta pull that up.
And
but-
you know what? We have to get the majority back in the House.
Exactly.
With Shifty Shift and all these other
Nancy
characters.
Pelosi.
Nancy. And that she's ripping up the state.
Maxine Waters.
She's
is a
ripping
joke.
up the State of the Union. How dare you?
Yeah.
How
very,
dare
very
you, Nancy?
disrespectful.
Nancy, you need to go.
Yeah.
And we need to get a Speaker of the House, a good, strong Republican in there, and who can support our president and support the Senate. But it's just terrible. I mean, when someone says, I'm running, obviously, for U.S. Congress here in the 45th District, and someone attacks me, it kind of hurts. And what Trump puts up with every day from these idiots.
And he gets paid $2 a year?
He doesn't take an income.
Yeah. Well, it's a dollar.
A dollar.
Yeah.
But my God, you in Congress better learn some manners.
Greg,
Sir.
you just got another donation. I hate to interrupt you.
No, thank you.
Okay, you got $50 donation from Jenna Lee, so thank you. She donated to every candidate tonight.
Oh my God,
Jenna,
Jenna,
you are
thank you.
amazing. Thank you,
All
Patriot.
right. So this is a fundraiser. We're down to the wire. We're down to 15, 16 days left before Election Day. March 3rd is right around the corner, so thank you very much. You know what I'm going to be doing tomorrow?
What?
I'm going to be watching the Daytona 500 because the Grand Marshal of the Daytona 500 is President Trump. And he's going to be telling the people to start their engines. And I've been to that race. It's the great American race. So I'm going to take some time from knocking on doors. I'm going to watch the race. I'm going to watch our president. And I appreciate what he's done for our country. So watch the great American race on Fox tomorrow.
Hey, Greg, I have a question for you.
Talk to me.
Okay, so.
Amy Fan West. This is Amy Fan West running in the 47th Congressional District. We need to start winning these seats back here in Orange County. And she can do it in the 47th. I'll do it in the 45th. But we can't do it alone. We need your support. We need your help. And I appreciate the money that's been coming in. Trust me, $50 is 12 yard signs. And, you know, they're about $4 a piece. And so we put it to good use. And we've had so many people coming in, can we have a yard sign, can we have a yard sign? Because all the neighbors around that house are gonna go, I don't know any of these candidates, but if Jack over there likes Greg, I'm gonna vote for Greg. So thank you very much for donating. What's your question?
Okay, so I was about to ask you, since a lot of seats were taken in 2018, the Democrats.
Taken's a good word. Stolen's another one, right?
Or rip us off.
Ripped us off.
Yeah. So,
ballot harvested.
Exactly. So the Democrat did that. It's legalized in California. So how, or do you have a strategy or what we should do as Republican in 2020 to win those seats back? What's your thoughts?
One of our guys harvested a ballot today. Ballot harvesting was passed by the Democrats. Oh my God. In North Carolina, they voided an election because of ballot harvesting, but in California, it's legal. What is harvesting? You go to your neighbors and say, give me your ballot, I'll turn it in. Well, how do you know they're turning it in? You broke the chain right then and there. You don't know if it really made it to the voter center or not. So I feel it's wrong, but since it's legal, we'll do the same thing. We're going to have captains within all the neighborhoods. We're going to know all our Republican voters, and they're going to go by 2, 3, 4 weeks before an election. Once the ballots get mailed out, and say, hey, have you turned in your ballot? Have you mailed it in? You've taken it in? If not, we'll take it in. Republicans tend not to give their ballots away to anybody, but today one lady, we walked today, we hit 3,000 doors today in Irvine. And this one lady asked to help fill out her ballot, and they fill out the ballot, helped her with her. She signed it and said, "Here, take it in for me." That's called ballot harvesting. That's legal. Believe it or not, that's legal. My God, my father would turn over in his grave if he saw what's going on in California. I'm serious.
So, Greg, did you know that recently I went to a Democrat spy on a Democrat ballot harvesting?
And would you want to hear? Yeah, I want to hear all about it.
Okay, this is crazy. Okay, so. I don't know who signed me up for a Democrat newsletter, or I don't know, someone signed me up. I guess it was a prank or whatever. But I keep getting information from the Democrats, right? Yeah. Different events and different stuff. So there was a ballot harvest training, and I go, you know what? Since 2018, we both know that the Democrat won. So how did they do this? So I went there with my beanie. Tennis shoes.
I know what type. Do you have a picture? I know what type of hat you had on.
No, not the pink one. I can't.
Not the pink.
Do you have a picture?
On my
what is with
campaign
these Democrat women? They wear these pink hats.
I went live. Okay, so it's on my campaign. Amy Fan West for Congress. Amy Fan West for Congress on Facebook, and you'll see the video of before I get there. So I live stream walking there, and then when I get in there, I live stream again. So then, of course, the Democrats were looking at me, and I just like nod my head like, yeah, we need to take Orange County, you know, and I just act like a Democrat, right? So I don't get exposed. So
you got to act crazy to be a Democrat, right?
Do I look like a Democrat?
Yeah, no, you act crazy and you start screaming and yelling to the sky.
No, but I just agree with them.
Resist.
Yeah, so one Democrat person who is the staff say, hey, how did you feel about this event? And I go, you know, I get it on Facebook, and I want to help you guys win. And so I felt so bad to say those things, you know. So then they go, well, are you a Democrat? And I go, look at me, I'm Asian, of course I'm a Democrat. and then they're like, well, you know, this is a private event. You can stay here and listen and get the training, but don't record anymore. So I turn it off. Sure. But at least I got at least 15 minutes of recording. So that's very good.
So when you turn off the camera, what were they teaching them? How to go pick up ballots?
Mm-hmm. So basically the intel. Okay, so in every city in Orange County, they have their office. And they have volunteer lineup ready to go the 1st of February. To remind people that the absentee ballots are coming in and they're coming back to get it. And they're targeting the Democrats. And then for the younger Democrats, aged from between 18 to 25, they have a different strategy. They are knocking at their doors and saying, hey, have you guys done your absentee ballot? And they say, no. And they say, well, do you want a $25 gas card?
Get out.
And the Democrats' kids say, heck yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, gas is expensive. That's very nice.
They'll get you
and
like
then,
1 gallon in California.
and so they said, well, we'll give you the gas card if you can give us your absentee ballot.
To fill out?
Yep. And so they're buying those absentee ballots.
Did you hear that, people? The Democrats are giving out a $25 gas card to get somebody's ballot so they can fill it out for them, correct?
Exactly.
And
so that's another thing they're taking upon themselves to secure those votes for the Democrats. Right. So as Republican, and the other thing they're doing too is ballot harvesting party. Do you know what that is?
You tell.
Okay, so what they're doing is like a wine cracker night event. Gather your friends, bring your absentee ballots,
bring it in,
and then the hosts have the voting guy right there.
They tell you
fill out, vote it out, and then give it to the host of that household that night, and then they will take it in to secure each ballot for each vote that's counted for. So for Republican, you know what? I'm kind of sick and tired of this. I notice a lot of Republicans when I talk to those who are running, because this is what they get intel from the GOP, stating, you want me to finish this?
Yeah,
stating,
then they're going to have Kelly Ann come back.
Okay, perfect. I would love to trade with her. So they're saying that, we cannot ballot harvest Republican. Yes, but that's BS. And I'll tell you why. Because we can have party as well. We can have the wine and dine party. We can have the OCGOP gathering once a month, tell all the people to bring their absentee ballot, vote already if they wanted to, and then drop it off to Fred Whitaker or any of them and say they will take it in and make sure all those voted are counted for. Because in 2018, all the absentee ballots that are mailed in are not counted for. You know what their excuse is? Oops, it got lost. In the 21st century, it got lost.
Well, in 2018, 250,000 ballots were dropped on the Orange County Office of the Registrar on election night. Mm-hmm. All of our candidates were ahead going into the day after the election. I mean, big. Mimi Walters is up by 10,000 votes, and she loses by 10,000. Roebucker was ahead. Everybody was ahead.
Yeah, they cheat so bad.
Yes.
So
I got to raise money to buy gas cards. Is that what you're saying? So we need some money coming in from all you people watching.
Oh, we got to hook up with Bloomberg.
Oh my God! So this
we'll
is
get some Trump money.
So when I come back, I'm going to tell you guys how to be proactive and then how to secure those votes. Okay, but right now,
are you going to go back to another one of these things?
Oh yeah, but right now, listen, I'm going to trade with Kelly. Yes.
Okay.
So I'm going to trade with Kelly and have her talk, and then when I come back, we're going to talk about those two important issues.
All right.
Okay.
Let me ask Mark, our host, is anybody watching this tonight?
It's
a Saturday night. Most people are out either at the movies or watching CSI or the Greg Gretfeld show or something like that. So.
I'd say so far probably 500 viewers are watching us.
Okay, that's very good.
I mean, and like on my personal page, I got 34. We have some on Kelly's. We have some on Ben's. We have some on yours.
Let me tell the people. Am I on right now?
Yeah.
The 45th congressional district. Irvine is the largest city of the district. Okay, about 250,000 people live in Irvine. The mayor is Christina Shea, and she's endorsed me. And the Greater Irvine Republicans, which is a group of almost 1,000 members, have endorsed me, and they walked for me today. Like I said earlier, we hit 3,000 homes. The next biggest city is Mission Viejo, and I was mayor last year.
Can I play your GIR endorsement video, sir?
I would love that.
Okay.
We're going to play my GIR endorsement.
Yeah. Hello again, I'm Greg Raths. March 3rd's right around the corner. I asked for your vote. Great news today. I got endorsed by the Greater Irvine Republicans, an organization that was formed by John Park in Irvine. Thank you very much. So,
we should leave the video.
I got a phone call. Yes, dear.
My wife calling. That was my wife calling in when I was filming the video. Hey, Kelly's on
They're
with
not
us.
going to believe that.
Kelly and I have been walking Irvine, and actually, Kelly, I walked Laguna Woods for you the other day.
did?
Yes, a friend of mine got me in. It's hard to get into that community, but we went in, and actually, this Democrat, I was talking to her, and she goes, I already voted, Greg. I go, did you vote for me? She goes, I voted for Katie Porter, but now that I met you in the general election, I promised to vote for you. So that's pretty cool. So.
All right. So did you tell her to vote for Kelly Ernby?
Yes, everyone loves Kelly. You hit it all. We went to the Laguna Woods Republican Club a couple weeks ago, and Kelly Ernby was there with her opponent, whose name I won't mention. But you hit it out of the park. Everybody in that room says you're going to vote for Kelly, and I'm convinced that's why your opponent backed out of a debate that was scheduled.
Oh, I heard that.
I mean, they had the hall, they had the money, they had the caterers, they had the sponsors. Everything was go, and she backed out. What happened with that?
Yeah, it was finally. I actually have been challenging my opponent to a debate since last August, and finally she accepted. And at the very last second, she just backed out. And I think that shows perfectly who's the better, capable, qualified candidate for a job that requires debate.
Probably doesn't want to debate an attorney, huh?
Well, I'm sure I will win the debate, but that's not the point, right?
The point is she accepted it.
Yeah, and then backed out.
And backed out.
Messed up a lot of people's schedules.
Right.
There was a lot of people that paid for the event.
Sponsors were already lined up.
Right. But ultimately, if you can't debate in a friendly environment, you can't go to Sacramento and debate on the assembly floor. And so to me, I hope everybody knows that, and I'm making sure, to share that information, because that is very concerning to me. And once again, going back to this, what I've been talking about is the politics as usual, getting that out of the way. What we should be doing is putting up great Republican candidates that will debate, that will sit on live discussion and answer questions from the people, and not sit at home just spending millions of dollars or however much money, sending out mailers all the time. And I think that's why our party has been losing. And so to not have a debate of the two Republican candidates in the 74th district is a shame. And it's not because Kelly Ernby doesn't want to debate. And we'll leave it at that.
Right. So when I ran in 2014, I ran against Mimi Walters, and she wouldn't debate. She would not come out to debate me. And she lasted 2 terms, and she's gone. So, when I'm elected as your next congressman, whoever wants to debate me, anybody in my own party wants to challenge me, or obviously the Democrats, I'd be happy, because what do you got to hide? You got to be up and open with your people because you represent them. Go ahead, Cole.
So I got a question. It was actually a text message from someone that's watching on YouTube right now.
Awesome.
And they said, Kelly, what's the main difference between yourself and the Republican challenger?
There's a lot of differences. I encourage people to look at the race and think who's going to do the best job. And what we just talked about is one of those issues. The assembly, a lot of people don't know what the assembly is. It's a lawmaking job. It's the Congress for our state. And it requires somebody who knows the law and can debate and fight against the supermajority of Democrats. So I'm more capable to do that job, but also we have to think long term. Who's going to regrow the party? We talked about that at the beginning of this evening, and I'm more capable. I can show it to you. You can look at my campaign and see the momentum that I have already grown with a younger base of people, of moms that are coming to the party. And that is what we need if we're going to have hope to bring back our voice long term. So ultimately, I think I'm more qualified. I have the more relevant experience
You're
to
a
do a
prosecutor.
statewide job. Exactly. That's what we need. And we need a fighter and somebody who's going to fight and argue and persuade our positions in Sacramento again. And, if anything, I'm going to hold the Democrats accountable and
Well, I've seen you with your boxing gloves.
that's become a symbol of my campaign, kind of by
Don't
mistake.
mess with Kelly, man.
Right. So if you want somebody who's going to, really get the job done, and that is clearly something that I'm going to do a way better job at. So I think it's a no contest. And I'm number one on the ballot. So.
All right, go ahead, Ben.
Hi, everyone. My name is Ben Chapman. I am running for City Council over in Costa Mesa here in Orange County in District 2, which is which covers South Coast metro area. And I just wanted to hop on and thank Amy and Colonel Raths and Kelly Ernby for joining the live stream this evening. As Kelly said, there's not that many people who would actually do this. So, and I want to thank Mark Nugent for having the live stream. But I won't take up too much time. They have an election day coming up. Mine isn't until November, so I want to focus on them. But I want to just encourage everyone to get out the vote. Make sure you turn in your ballots. Vote on March 3rd. Vote for Kelly Ernby for Assembly, the 74th District. Vote for Colonel Greg Rath in the 45th Congressional District. And vote for Amy Fan West in the 47th Congressional District. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a great night.
So the Fan West, so that's your main name is Fan?
Yes.
And then West is your married
Yeah.
name. So Amy's your,
I
I know, I heard that. So when you're in Vietnam, your name wasn't Amy.
No.
What was it?
It was Yến Thị Fan.
Eat Tang Fan?
It's Yến Thị Fan.
Fan.
So Yến is it's like a black bird, raven kind of like.
All right.
And then Thị is like the middle name for a female.
Okay.
And then Fan is my last name, my dad's name, so first. And then when I became an American citizen, my mom always wanted my name to be Amy. So Amy, and then Fan is my last name, so I use that. But before I got married, it was Amy Yin Fan. So I used my American name, American citizen name, and then Yin is my Vietnamese name, and then Fan is my last name. And then when I got married to Jeremy, my husband,
The white guy.
the white guy. So it's Amy, Fan. I took off the Yin, so Fan and West.
West. Have you been to Vietnam lately?
I went to Vietnam in 2000.
2000. So it's been 20 years.
Yeah, and you know what happened? Since it's a communist regime, my dad went with me, right? And so they blackmailed my dad.
They blackmail your dad?
Mm-hmm. So my dad. So because the communist regime, they know the older generation fear the communist regime. So they say, hey, you want your luggage? Give me $500.
Get out.
Yes. And so my dad, I go, Dad, do not give it to them. And so he's like, okay. He give it to them.
Oh my God.
And that's how they blackmail, and that's how they get money from the people. But for me,
Have you been to LAX?
Yes. But see, the thing is that they didn't even mess with me.
No,
Because I'm
because
American
they know,
citizen.
they know.
Yeah, they don't want to mess with us.
But my buddy just came back from Vietnam. He was over there touring.
Wow.
And if you cross the street, you got all these
Bikes.
bikes going real fast. They say just walk and don't look, and they'll stop and they'll go around you.
No, they don't look for you. You look for the
No,
the
they
bikes
well
and
they
cars.
say just walk across. That's what he told
Was
me.
he white?
Yeah, he's a white guy.
Maybe that's why they don't want
He's
to
in
kill
my-
a white guy.
Yeah, he's my Rotary Club buddy. So. All right, so where are we at here? Anybody giving us any money yet? This is a fundraiser.
I do have a message for you.
Not a
It's
fundraiser. It's a fundraiser. What's my message?
I have a hi from Caitlin and Eric.
Caitlin and Eric, those are my granddaughter and grandson from beautiful Irvine. If they're 18, maybe they can vote, but I don't think they are. I think they're 6 and 3.5, maybe 4.
Well, and
I
the
should
Democrat,
know.
I mean, anyone can vote.
No, these
You're
are my.
Democrat.
No, they better be Republicans. Better be Republicans.
Isn't that all? Have you guys been noticing that you'll go to a house and both parents will be hard Republicans and their kids are socialist?
Yeah, no. Yeah, I'll go
The college
both.
scene.
Yeah.
The kids are never with a party.
Yeah, or the
They're either
MPPs.
independent, no party preference. These youngsters aren't picking parties. Like, we kind of just picked the party of our parents. That's the way it kind of was when I grew up. But,
You know, I agree with
Anyways,
you, though.
so
A
it's-
lot of younger college students are Democrats because their parents keep calling the office.
well, they want free college. They want the big Bernie Sanders to wipe out
Debt.
their debt.
Mhm.
And how crazy are you to get into debt in college? Don't get into debt. Get a job during college and go to a state school. They're only like $4,000 a semester plus books. Get a job. Don't take out debt or you're never going to get out of it. Kelly, are you in debt still or are you out?
I'm out.
All right.
Yes.
Yes.
I got 3 degrees, so I paid a lot of money for
Oh,
school,
I
but
know.
I could afford it.
So
and-
if they forgive all these debts, are they going to give you money for your 3 degrees?
yeah, I doubt it.
I
but
doubt it.
that certainly would not be fair.
And Medicare for all. What world are they living in? That's trillions and trillions of dollars. So
I've
the
been.
good old capital system works. And
America's going to collapse if that ever
well,
happens.
we got the Bernie, we got the Buttigieg and all the other crazies.
I thought his name was Buttigieg or something.
Buttigieg, I believe. Buttigieg.
Yeah.
Who's the other?
His name is Butt, right?
You got Crazy Bernie.
Crazy,
Crazy Bernie.
right.
What
You
did
got
they
Buddha-
label them?
You got Buttigieg. You got Bernie. You got Biden.
No,
Bloomberg.
but what do they call?
You got Kaufman. What's the other one?
Klobuchar.
Pocahontas.
Yeah, Klobuchar. So it's a crazy group. But anyways, we'll see what happens in the race. So anyways, what do we got? Any other questions?
I had somebody say, I'd love to see all three of you work as one strong team. And
we are.
Yeah,
We are a
That's
strong
why
team.
we're here.
Yeah, that's all why we're here right now. That's what I think.
We're a very strong team.
Exactly.
We need to get Orange County red again. And like I said, it's a disgrace with this congresswoman that I'm running against, Katie Porter, has done. In her 1 year, she's a freshman. She's up there on the dais treating these people that are testifying, who are probably scared out of their mind. They've never testified before at the House, and she just treats them like they're some criminal. It's disgusting. It's just terrible. I would never, ever think of doing that as your congressman. I'd be so proud to be your congressman. I'll treat people with respect. I'll treat people with dignity, because that's the way my parents taught me when I was a young boy. What do you got, Mark?
Oh, I was just going to remind everyone to donate. Let me show you guys the website. We have Kelly Earnby here. She is on camera, so if you guys want to ask her some questions, she is right here. So let me show you her website.
How's your fundraising done, Kelly?
Well, I've raised 175,000 or plus, more than that, with a very short amount of time. And so we're still raising money, but we raised enough to be competitive in the race, and we're pretty happy with that. But we do need more.
So we're looking at viewers right now. We're looking at your website, kellyearnby.com. So if you guys want to make a donation, we already had a $50 donation not too long ago. So then that's Kelly's. Here is Amy's right here. AmyFanWestForCongress.com. Also, our gracious host let us use his home today, Colonel Greg Ratz, GregRatz.com. And I want to bring your attention to the bright red button. See, he's the smart one. He put it in bright red right there.
Bright red.
Yeah. So
Can't miss it.
there's Kelly's in the blue. Amy, she's kind of there. She's got herself. Oh, it highlights red.
Yeah,
There you go. Right under the beautiful family photo
Only
right
if you
there.
touch it, because that's the trick.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to use that one. Okay. So seriously, guys, they need donations to save our country, and they literally are going to. So back to your regular scheduled broadcast that you guys go at it and talk.
Well, right now it's the 15th of February. From what hey Cole, what's the percentage of people that turn in their ballots so far?
We're at 4%.
4% of all registered voters have turned in their ballots. In fact, we walked today and everyone's like, we already voted for you, Greg. We already voted for you. And the other night we had a meet and greet at this house in Laguna Woods. He's supposed to have about 25 people there, but he only had about 20. And he goes, all the other people decide they already voted for you. They don't need to come and listen to you.
Okay, we have a question for Kelly, but I want everyone to answer it.
Well, let's go with Kelly then.
Okay, they said, I have a question for Kelly. Can she share more on her work for parental rights?
Yeah, thank you. That's one of my top priorities. And I started off my campaign having a town hall where I invited parents to come and share with me some of the issues that they were facing. And it turns out that many of the parents are very frustrated. They're losing their freedoms in many different ways, in choice for school and in their medical freedom. And it's unacceptable what's happening. And I've gone and argued for a charter school for school choice. And I've become a strong advocate listening to the issues that the moms and parents have when it comes to the medical freedom movement. And I encourage people to actually listen to what they have to say. They have been tagged as being anti-vaxxers and things of that nature, and that's actually not true. A lot of the moms have children that are injured, admittedly injured by vaccines, and they want to share the risks and the harms that their kids have suffered. And I listen to what they're trying to tell me, and I think they need a strong advocate. And we've had several bills in Sacramento that have taken away the ability to have a discussion with your doctors. And doctors and patients should be making decisions about what medications, what vaccines, what you are taking into your body. And ultimately, as a Republican, I believe in freedom, and I believe that the government shouldn't be mandating things. And I know it's controversial when it comes to vaccines, and people think, oh, the whole society is going to fall apart. And so I'm actually willing to sit down and talk about these issues, and no one else is. And I think that is why people are looking to somebody like me, because I'm not afraid. And we are going to be listening to them. So there was a bill, SB 276, that passed, and that actually sparked a lot of concerns, because the liberals are wanting to take away any exceptions, and some of these kids are already vaccine injured, and now they have no exception, and they're looking at leaving the state. And I could go on and on and on about it, but these are not, crazy people. They are moms and families, and they deserve to have a voice. And so I'm listening, and I encourage everybody to look more carefully at the issue and not just call names, because when you really dive down and look at who these kids are, there are real injuries that have happened here, and
My son was injured.
unacceptable.
He got his first set of shots, and it was contaminated batch of vaccine. Right after the doctor the week before said it's totally safe. My wife said, let's get it. I said, okay, but we made that decision. It wasn't forced on us. But he was
Exactly.
injured, but luckily he's fine now.
Right, and people should take vaccines, right? I'm not anti-vaccine, but I am a pro-consumer protection deputy at the district attorney's office, and what we do, we hold companies accountable, so they have to advertise what the risks are, and the companies are doing that, and they need to make sure that their products are safe. And if there is a risk, we just need to know what it is, and I think that's all that these moms ultimately want to do, is to make sure that the vaccines their kids are taking are safe and they're tested, and they aren't risking autoimmune disorders and seizures and death for some of these kids. It's really something we need to all take a look at. But ultimately, it's become an issue because the state has decided they want to mandate, and kids can't go to school, and they're not listening.
Hey, Mark, I remember Abe in real quick. Abe
Okay.
works for my campaign, and he's been going door to door. He's hit already 5,000 houses. So he's going to talk a little bit about what the people are saying. He's got a voice problem. He's got an operation coming up to work on his voice box. So I'm going to bring him in. Come on in, Abe.
Hello, my name's Abel Limyati. I'm a volunteer for Greg Ratz, and I've had the pleasure of knocking on about 5,000 doors for the Colonel. And the response is amazing, great feedback, a lot of great support, and
Okay, appreciate it, Abe. Thank you.
thank you.
Appreciate it. Okay. So any, let's see where we at. That threw me. Okay. I was going to ask you if someone wanted to donate to your campaign.
Your GIR.
What's the website other than looking at their screen?
It's kellyernby.com. It's real easy. The donate button is blue, not red, on my page, on the right-hand corner up at the top.
And then we had someone talking about education and
Mark, we got the GIR events coordinator here tonight.
Yes, we do.
You want to put her on?
If she wants to.
Come on, get over here. This is Greater Irvine Republican. You put on the headset and talk.
You want to talk, Amy?
Yeah, that's what you want me to say. Sorry.
I just wanted to cut to you while you're playing with your phone.
No, I'm answering questions.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got multiple streams going on. So I've got like on my personal page, your personal page, so a bunch of people are saying this. Before we cut to Suzanne, could we give Amy her final word? I'm sorry, Kelly, can you give your final words on what you were saying? Are we finished with your comments?
Education.
On education?
Well, just I didn't want me to cut you off.
Yeah, I mean, there is some other issues for the parents. It deals with the curriculum that parents are seeing in their schools and the sex ed and the programs. There's a gender identity curriculum that is taking away a parent's ability to talk about sensitive issues with their children. And that's drawing a lot of parents to want to leave the public school system, and ultimately they want to be parents again. Why is our state dictating every little detail of
They're communists.
Yeah, they're definitely moving that direction. And so, by listening to the parents, unfortunately, I don't have kids on my own. And so that's just not something that's worked out for me, not yet at least. And so I don't come with any prejudice or bias when it comes to talking to the parents about what their issues are. And I'm really literally sitting here reporting to you as to what they have told me. And I'm an advocate. And so these are the things that they are upset about. And those are the things I'm going to fight for when I go to Sacramento.
Awesome. Thank you. So up next, now we have, and as you speak, I'm going to adjust that camera, okay? Because Greg was sitting there, he's super tall. So we're going to angle this thing down in just a second. Okay, so can you tell us a little bit about GIR as I fix the camera?
Sure. So GIR stands for Greater Irvine Republicans, and we're a group of people who are politically active and live in the Greater Irvine area. Our primary focus is to win and keep red seats in the Irvine area. And we support all of our candidates in this general area.
Awesome. Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Anaheim.
Really? That's awesome.
I went to Anaheim High School.
So,
High School.
how long has GIR existed?
I think it's been like a year and a half. I think it's been a year and a half. So
How many?
really short.
That's okay. Just lean into the microphone. You get used to it. How many verified members are there?
Oh, right now I think we've got like 900. We're trying to get to 1,000.
Awesome. Yeah, and you guys brought about 20 volunteers today to Greg's Walk. Appreciate it.
Yeah, we try to rally volunteers to get out to all the candidates events and knock doors, make phone calls.
Awesome. And are you allowed to say what the vote count was? If you're not allowed to say, it's okay.
No.
Okay, because we heard it wasn't even close. That's the rumor.
When's their next event?
I honestly, I don't know.
I think it's the 26th. They're having one more event coming up.
Yeah. Oh, do you have any more events coming up? And where could we find them?
Actually, we have a meeting coming up. We have a meeting once a month, and it's the last Wednesday of every month.
Is there a website?
No, we are on Facebook though. Greater Irvine Republicans on Facebook.
Okay. And is there any prerequisite to join?
You have to be a Republican, a registered Republican.
Okay.
Yes. No Dems.
No
we
spies.
will. We will check.
Okay. And just so you know, you can look yourself on the screen. You look pretty good, by the way. So.
I just came from a birthday party.
So
Amy
looks like she has some questions. So Amy, do you have any questions for Suzanne?
Can I just give a shout out, first of all, to Greater Irvine Republicans, because I know they started off with, 20, 30 members last January, right? And have grown to over 900 members, almost 1,000 in less than a year. And I think it's a sign of the momentum that we see and I see. I'm seeing new Republican groups crop up in all the different cities that I've been working in, and Greater Irvine Republicans is just such a great, positive group. And so I think we're starting to see a lot of momentum starting from there and growing. And congratulations, you guys are doing a great job. And anybody who lives anywhere, what are the cities that can join for Greater Irvine Republicans?
Oh my gosh, I think we've got people, basically I think Greater Irvine is anywhere within 5 miles of Irvine. We've got Mission Viejo, we've got Newport Beach, Lake Forest, Irvine, Tustin,
Huntington Beach,
Costa Mesa,
Huntington Beach.
Yes.
We have a question from the audience. James Webb says, to all candidates, is there any way you could hook up Apple Pay, much easier to donate and keeps credit card numbers and our info
Grass
files?
has Apple Pay.
So,
Great
what's that, Greg?
idea.
We have Apple Pay.
Okay, there is Apple Pay. Could Cole post that as a comment so other people can see the Apple Pay donation? And there is the timer. So guys, go ahead and donate. So far, a couple $100 and he reached 2,000. Okay, you guys can go ahead and keep up. I'm sorry.
I just wanted to actually give a shout out to John Park, who is the founder of Greater Irvine Republicans. He's done a fantastic job building that group.
And he left you a comment right there.
Oh, yay, John. And he's also running for the GOP Central Committee. So, yay, vote for John if you're in District 68.
68, yes. That's awesome. So I have a question for you. So what is your guys' Greater Irvine? What are your goals in the next 2 years?
Oh my gosh, I don't know if we've thought that far ahead, but right now, I mean, we're pretty much in the moment, just focus on candidates, supporting candidates, getting volunteers for candidates, voter outreach. We're looking at maybe doing some ballot harvesting. So yeah, we're right now focused on the election.
That's awesome.
Hardworking.
Yes.
That
Yeah.
sounds really great. That's
Exactly.
grassroots organization, and that is what we need.
Exactly. That's
Excellent.
what we need, and I'm happy you guys are taking that up. That's very admirable.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You guys keep talking. I'm just going to show the websites how to donate.
Now, do you guys want me
This
to
is-
talk about the ballot harvesting, how to be proactive and how to secure those votes right now, or you want me to do that later?
I think you started the discussion. Let's hear it.
Okay. So honestly, I think everyone who is running for office needs to implement this. So how to be proactive this coming election, bring a friend with you to the voting booth. Since Orange County, they have 200, right, voting center now and Dropbox. So we have to be proactive, and I bet your organization, Greater Irvine, is having people volunteer for the next, for the 11 days of voting from February 22nd to March 3rd to keep an eye to make sure there's no fraudulent going on. So every campaign team needs to be doing that, having their team. You see how the Democrat is making it so much harder for us, more work for us to get people there to keep watch.
Yeah, so you're talking about poll watchers.
Exactly, exactly. So every organization, conservative, have to be doing that. And then the other thing, as conservative, in 2018, the polls say over 4 million Christians did not go out and vote in 2018.
right.
So this coming 2020 March, we must, as Christians, go out and vote. Because as Christian, we're already conservative, with our viewpoint. We're pro-God, pro-gun, and pro-life. So if we vote, we can change the landscape of California. And not only that, around the nation.
Yeah, and that's absolutely true. The hard part is getting into the churches. I personally went with a lady named Amy Freeman, who's also running for Central Committee. We went out to Anaheim Stadium when the Harvest Crusade was going on. And honestly, I was shocked at the apathy. Nobody wanted to register. They didn't care. They didn't want to know anything about it. It was bad.
I have to interrupt. Greg just got another donation, so that's pretty awesome. So Greg just got another donation. I don't know how much, but remember, this is a fundraiser. We're trying to get all these great candidates money so they can run. And answer to a question that's commonly asked is, where does the money go? It goes to advertising, goes to mailers. It goes to that sign right behind Suzanne. Those nice signs right there. They're probably $5-6 each. So we've got a ton of those, the mailers, all that stuff. Unfortunately, campaigns cost money. We all know that. So, and really quick, I'm going to just show everybody on the screen our websites where to donate. So we got kellyernby.com. Donate right here. You guys can look on the screen. That's what they're seeing right now. Where that big, I changed the cursor so it's a big size. And then you got that's where you donate. Amy Fan West. You go to take you to hers. Donate right there. Even $5, $10. Come on, everyone give $5. I donated way too much this election cycle. So just donate right there. So right there is Greg's. And then, of course, Ben Chapman. But me and Ben Chapman, we're not running until the general elections. Don't worry about us. Their elections are right around the corner, and there's last-minute things that pop up for Kelly, Amy, and, of course, Greg. So back to you guys. I just wanted to throw that up there. And we got another donation, so that's awesome.
Yeah, does everybody know about the primary and how it works? And each of us, the 3 candidates you just mentioned, we each have contested primaries. So we're working to try and get the best 2 candidates is what they do in California. And so it's the top 2. So in my race, it's really interesting because, well, yours as well. It's actually nonpartisan. So anybody from any party, if you're a Republican, if you're a Democrat, if you're independent, you all can vote. There was some media coverage about the presidential primary where the Republicans will not let other parties vote for the presidential race, but in our races, you can vote for the choice regardless of party. So
Yeah, so Kelly, that's correct. So in California, It's basically a jungle kind of contestant. So whoever gets the top two, the most vote, get in. If it's two Democrats, then the two Democrats head to head in November. If it's a Democrat Republican, that'll be nice. But that's ideal, but they don't have that in California anymore. So for the primary, if you're a Republican, you can only vote for Trump. But if you're not Republican, if you're non-party preference, Green Party, American Independent, or Democrats, and you want to vote for Trump, you cannot vote for Trump unless you change your status. And in 2000, I believe
That's
19,
just the primary.
Primary,
Right.
But 2019, when they accidentally in California
Right,
switched
right.
their voting status,
Right.
right? So we, as a Republican, or those who want to vote for Trump, they must re-register to vote for Trump Republican this coming primary, March 3rd. So you guys still have time to do that.
Yeah, my buddy asked me how to vote. He asked to show me his ballot. I go, this isn't a Republican ballot. And he was a Republican. And I go, this is an independent ballot because Trump wasn't on it. He goes, well, how do I said, you got to go down to the Orange County Office of Registrar and
Or you
re-register.
can go online.
Or go online, yeah, OC vote. But he didn't never know he was changed from Republican to independent. So check your ballots. If you're a Republican and Trump's not on it, you're not registered Republican. So go to ocvote.com. You can actually take your ballot into the voting the voting centers and say, I want to re-register as a Republican.
We have a request from, sorry to cut you off, we have a request from Ben Chapman. He says, please discuss Prop 13. He had to go home to his spouse.
Oh, okay.
So he had to, it is Saturday night, and he's got to work at 6 in the morning, he said.
Yeah, Prop 13 is in Prop 13. This is all different. And this is another scam by the Democrats. So Prop 13 is with the $14 billion school bill.
It's a bond.
Or bond,
increase,
yeah,
yes.
bond.
And you know, in 1980, didn't they do a lottery bond for education? And yet,
they started the lottery to give all the money supposed to go to education.
Yeah.
Which it does, but then the part of the education part of the budget, they send to other places. So when they say this bond will only go for education, it does.
Some.
But then say you put $15 billion in, but then they'll move that $15 billion to something else like firefighters, retirements, or government worker retirement. So it's a big scam, and Sacramento has plenty of money. We don't need any more bonds.
Exactly.
We don't need to be taxed anymore. We're taxed enough. My buddy, she's probably not watching because she's in Oklahoma, but she was the mayor of Laguna Hills, and it's $1.89 down in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Wow.
So, yeah, this Barbara Kogerman. And we paid $4.45 for gas.
So then for Prop 13 on March, what would you recommend the people
I
to
say
vote?
no. There's plenty of money in Sacramento.
Exactly.
And some of my Republican competitors, and I'm not going to talk bad about them, I'm not going to mention by name, but if you go on these slates that I bought, it says yes on 13.
Can I speak to school money? Because they put it on me again. So I got the horrible light. So they're going to tell you it's for the schools.
Correct.
Did you know that our superintendent makes like $500,000 a year?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So how about and he's not really that great.
No.
So people don't realize that. They don't ever analyze the budget.
Sad.
You know, those are public record. They just need to go online and look at
Yeah,
it.
you can look it up. Yeah. And plus you got another $200,000 or $300,000 for pension. Oh, I'm sorry, it's a little under $500,000. It's like $400,000 and change.
They don't need anymore.
They're like, we need more money. It's for the kids. But they won't tell you that 89 to 91% of the budget is into salary.
Right.
And it's always the top guys.
You two, when you go to Sacramento, you need to work on this.
No, she's not going to Sacramento.
I'm sorry.
But I'll take care of you.
When you go to Sacramento,
I'll take care of us there.
Yes. You and I, when we go to Washington, that's the problem.
Yes.
$1 trillion budget deficit.
It's actually 23.1 trillion. And it's
that's the deficit.
Yeah.
But each year it's $1 trillion deficit.
Yes,
All right.
exactly. It's crazy.
I mean, come on. That's just wrong.
Yes.
And when you go to Sacramento, you do the same thing. But there's a lot of money up there right now, and they're just wasting it. They're still working on this train. Is that still going on? The train to nowhere?
Yes.
Between Barstow and Lemoore or wherever up there, it's craziness. This is a craziness. Here's another story. My buddy, I had lunch with him on Friday yesterday. He was going to develop this area up by Vista, and there's an endangered weed. A weed. It's a endangered list, and he could not develop until the weed actually sprouted and got the flower, and then the honeybees came, and then he had to move the weed to a place where it could survive before he could start developing it. This state is just totally out of control. It's gone wacko. And people go, what about clean air? What about clean water? Look at the sky. It's blue. I mean, when I was here like in the 70s, it was terrible, but this is the best air and water we've had, in my opinion, since I've lived here. And I've lived here 42 years, or 43 years now in Orange County.
Yeah, I think that's an important issue, though, and that's something I like to talk about.
Talk about it.
Because I
you're
do.
an environmentalist.
Right, I'm an expert when it comes to environmental law. I do environmental prosecutions at the DA's office, and my undergraduate degree is in biology. And I think the mistake we're making right now, or the liberal mistake, is to singularly focus our environmental policy on climate change.
Right.
And they're setting aside a lot of other things that we should be looking at, and conservation and our water. So, water pollution and those issues are very close to my heart, and they're not looking at that at all. And focusing singularly on these Green New Deal projects, they want to basically gut society as it is. And I like to remind people, I think the Republicans haven't talked a lot about the environment for a while. I think that's a mistake. Right. I do think we need to get back into that discussion, because we all, sitting here, we love our beaches and our clean air. That's not the issue. The issue is how we go about getting that and getting to that. And right now we are really squeezing, at least in California, our regulations are hurting businesses and forcing them out of the state. And it doesn't help the environment sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes.
What's the latest on the desal plant? Is that an environmental problem that they're building in Huntington? Where do you stand on that?
Well, that is being built. I think the ship has sailed. I haven't been involved, but it was very controversial in Huntington Beach. Some people wanted it, some people didn't. Ultimately, I don't really have an opinion about who and how it was put into place, because I think there was some concerns about how it ended up where it did, for political reasons. And I wasn't involved in any of that. But I do think having a clean water source is a good thing. So despite the controversy, I like the idea of not having to go through a drought again where none of us can water our lawns. I think I'm so classic environmentalist that I still like planting more trees so that we have fresh air, because the trees, why aren't we planting more trees? But when we're not even able to water our lawns, that's something we can avoid by having a desalination plant. The ocean is a massive source of drinking water, and the rest of the world, we're a little bit behind. If you actually look, other countries in other parts of the world have desalination plants, and that's the main source of water in a lot of countries. And so it's technology advancing here. So I see it does use a lot of energy. So there's some give and takes in everything, and ultimately we can't live without clean water to drink. And so I think it's good in that respect.
Well, you're in my beautiful house, and my electric bill each year is zero, because on my roof it's solar panels.
Right.
And it's paid for itself twice, and I got them about 10 years ago. And even the newer ones are even better. So I love solar. I have a swimming pool. We have a low flow pump in there. I have artificial grass up front. I have double pane windows to keep the house insulated. So I guess I consider myself an environment, but I'm not a wacko type or far lefter where, we're going to have to park all the airplanes and no one's going to go anywhere. So.
Right. Amy, what do you think?
I want to piggyback on what Kelly was saying. I feel like water, the left keeps saying, like, we have a water crisis, I go, no, we don't. My family, we love outdoors. We took all of the boys camping at 2 months old. We love hiking, we love mountain bike, downhill mountain bike, we rock climb, we rock crawl with our Jeep. We do all these outdoors. When we go to Yosemite, when we go to the Sierra, there's water gushing through from the mountain snow. And it gets out into the ocean. and they're not capturing it. California is not capturing those natural
Right.
resources for the people of California, yet they're wasting it. And the thing is that if we capture that, I mean, our water bill shouldn't go up.
The milk.
We don't have a water crisis. It's just they're not,
It's like a
this
half
is a
gallon.
lobbyist issue, and they're using this on the back of the taxpayer and the Californian people. They don't care about us. They care about money and who's paying them. So the thing is
And
that we
control.
nip it, exactly. we
Nip it.
in the
Nip
bud.
it in the bud.
As a mother, that's what I intend to do in Congress.
Yeah,
All
let
right.
the people have their water.
Exactly.
Amy and I were out funding Congress.
Yes,
weren't we?
smack them.
Right. Are you going to be younger than AOC?
No.
No?
I look young,
Yeah.
but I'm 40 this year.
Get out.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Well, mention-
3 boys.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
But you still be young. I'm 66. So
Yeah,
I'll
it's
be-
okay. But you still
Your
don't.
grandfather. No, I got experience. I'll use
That's
mine.
great.
We'll work together.
Yes,
you know.
I think that's very
So
important.
who's the Democrat who has the seat now? Lowenthal?
Lowenthal.
He's tough.
You know what?
What's your plan after the general
He
or after the
wants to
primary?
debate me. I keep
Well, no,
telling
they
him.
won't debate you. If they're ahead in the polls, they're never going to debate you.
No, the thing is that he knows I'm going to beat him. He can't debate me.
What's your plan?
Well, the thing is that, of course,
So right now there's
second-
3 Republicans
so
running.
3 Republicans and
so-
3 Democrats.
Right.
So,
Oh, he's being challenged by 2 Democrats. huh?
yeah,
Wow.
so it's gonna be fun.
Wow.
It's gonna be super fun. And the thing is that the problem with him is he has tons of voting record for the last 7 years sitting as our congressman. And he voted against funding for our veteran. Never once has he voted to fund our veteran. What an idiot. I mean, those are the people who fought for our freedom.
Right.
That's the least we can do for our vet is to support them and their family.
But I'm a veteran, so.
Yeah, thank you for your service. So, sorry, but I'm not being political correctness anymore, and I'm fed up with his voting record. If he doesn't defend our vet, he's an idiot. He needs to challenge me.
Well, Katie Porter, she doesn't do anything for the veterans either, so. And I know, Mark, you've been working on an issue with her, and you haven't got that.
Well, I was going to just say, we're aware of a veteran that in November requested help with medical support.
Right.
And she goes around saying how much she cares about veterans, but there's a medical issue that needs to be resolved. Veterans called her office numerous times. They been passing it off as the VA's issue. They sent an email to the VA. There's another one.
No, as a congressman, you're the conduit between the VA and that service person.
You know, I hate to say good things.
You don't just pass it off to the VA.
I hate to say good things about a Democrat here, but Congressman Lou Correa.
Yeah, I know Lou very well.
I was in the office with him, and he said, if there's an issue with the VA, I will go there with you in person.
Yeah, Lou's a good guy.
Yeah, so that's her colleague, a Democrat colleague, saying that.
Is he being challenged, Lou? Is there a Republican?
Yeah,
running?
yes.
Is that 46th district?
Yes, it is.
Oh, yeah, that's the gentleman.
James Waters.
James Waters.
But, you go around saying how much you care about veterans, but there's ones that need medical care, and you're just like, meh. And you'll take
I
a
said
photo.
I was the vice chairman of the Veterans Advisory Council for the Board of Supervisors. I was appointed by Lisa Bartlett. And Lou Correa always has a person at a Veterans Council meetings all the time. And you never see anybody from Katie Porter's office or Lowenthal's office.
No, yeah. He's
Or
everything against.
Rudy's office.
Exactly. He's completely opposite of me. Everything I support, he's against. And everything he supports, I'm against.
Well, when you quit taking care of your veterans, that's pretty sad. Very sad. And they give millions and millions to these homeless people, but they won't take care of our veterans. And then they get mad at us that we want to secure our borders. We got to take care of our homeless. We got to take care of our veterans first, and then think about bringing in more people to the country. I'm all for legal immigration. There's several specific jobs where you need to be. Say the Filipinos are really good as nurses, and they work in these homes for the elderly, and we're short of those. So bringing them in from the Philippines is great, but just walking across the border and thinking you can be an American citizen, and those days are over. At least when I'm in Congress.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go back to that veteran issue if you like. It's me. I know you guys are like, who we're talking about. Yeah, I needed help with an issue, and in November, contact us. There's an issue I really do need help with for the medical issue in, Long Beach, VA, and so far ignored. So that's that.
We need a VA hospital in Orange County.
Because people are going to be like, oh, how do you know? How do you know about this
We
veteran?
need a VA cemetery in Orange County. And that's, as a congressman, and as a congressman, we'll work on that.
Yeah.
Because we got to go all the way to Long Beach.
Irvine. Yep.
Very good.
It's coming soon in Irvine, right?
We're working on it. We're working on the cemetery. But a hospital, we have a clinic in Laguna Hills, but we need a hospital.
Well, they always have a VA hospital.
Yeah, Long Beach has a VA hospital, and so does San Diego. Riverside has a cemetery, but Orange County with the millions of people here, I think it's Orange County is larger than like 20 states put together. We don't have a VA hospital. You don't treat veterans that way. So let's take care of our veterans. Obviously, take care of our homeless, and then we'll work about bringing it, not illegal, but legal.
Well, we can take care of a veteran by donating. Here, they're looking at your screen. Hate to interrupt, but I know this is a fundraiser, so this is what people are looking at right here.
Yeah. Like our average is about $220, so 2,100 donors, but there's some $5, $2, and then we have some thousands and 2,000.
Okay, and this is other websites. I know it's redundant. I'm going over and over again, but these good candidates need you guys' support. So far, I think we've raised a few $100s. I'll stay as long as it takes to raise some more money.
Are we getting close to our goal? My goal was 2,000. What's yours, Kelly?
I just came when you told me today. I left. I walked precincts all day in Huntington Beach until
how'd that go?
6:30. I dropped my last few signs and then I changed and I raced over here.
Did you bring Alec?
My husband is here. Yeah, we came on the last minute, so I'm proud to be here with all of you. And
we can put your husband on. You can take my spot.
I didn't have a goal, but anybody, please donate.
You want to be on camera?
We'll shut up once we all have $2,000. So until then, we're going to go to the wee hours of the night.
I'll stay here. I'm good. I'm wound up tight. I got plenty of energy.
Lucy's got the coffee on, so
okay. So I'm just wanted to show everybody some love and show their website. So Greg, I got yours up right on the screen.
I don't see
it. Right there. So okay, we got.
So are you going to donate? Oh, there's Kelly.
There's Kelly's. Right. There's Amy's. And there's
Amy
Fan WestForCongress.com and KellyEarnB.com. So how awesome is it that a bunch of politicians will stay up in the wee hours of the night and live stream and talk to their constituents direct? And
so Amy, tell me your cities in the 47.
Okay, the 47 consists of Westminster, Garden Grove, part of Midway City, Stanton, Los Alamitos, Cypress, all the way up to LA County, which is Signal Hill, Lakewood, Long Beach, and Catalina Island.
Really? So you got LA County too?
Yes.
So we just can't look at the Orange County returns on election night, right?
Well, you can see both,
Well, Janet Nguyen, she won Orange County, but then she lost her seat. So, and Diane Harkey, she won Orange County, but she lost her congressional seat to San Diego County. What are you all Orange County, Kelly?
All Orange County. The 74th district is Huntington Beach, Newport Beach, Laguna Beach, Costa Mesa, Irvine, and Laguna Woods.
You got all of Irvine, or
not all of Irvine, and not all of Huntington Beach. So those have some interesting.
Well, you're Huntington Beach.
The South
resident.
I am. I live in Huntington Beach with my husband, and I've actually lived in Laguna Beach. I've lived in Newport Beach, and I've worked in Irvine, and
we've got Costa Mesa covered for you. Ben Chapman's really working hard.
Yeah.
With the Costa Mesa Republican Assembly.
I've been working really hard in every city in the district. So I started my campaign last year, and I knew I was a fresh face for the party and into politics, so I had to hit the ground running. I know Amy did the same thing, and so I have worked tirelessly night and day for almost a year now, so I'm really seeing the benefits of that now. I've got.
What drives us? Why do we do this? Why do we do this? Tell me. Why are you doing it? I'll tell you why I'm doing it.
Go ahead.
Well, I've served my country, I've served my community all my life. From 8 years old as a Cub Scout to a Boy Scout, 30 years in the Marine Corps, and then 6 years down on council. It's just something that I grew up with and came from my parents. They taught me to serve. I wasn't ever going to get rich. I did want to raise a nice family, which I had 3 beautiful children. They're all grown up. We each have 2 kids themselves, so 6 grandkids. Been married for 38 years. And I'm 66, so I have a pension from the military. I can just sit back and enjoy life, but I feel there's a higher calling for me to serve my country in this district. This district, the 45th district, and in some of the cities, Irvine, like I said, Tustin, Rancho Santa Maria, Margarita, Laguna Hills, Laguna Woods, Mission Viejo, Puerto Casa, Villa Park, is all run by Republican councils and Republican mayors. Katie Porter is not Republican. She immigrated here from Iowa, and she doesn't understand Orange County, and I do. I've been here 42 years. I was based right in the heart of the district out El Toro Air Base for some 20 years, flying with 4 Phantoms and F-18. So what I'm trying to say is this is the district I understand, and I want to serve it. And I will continue to serve as long as you elect me and as long as you support me.
Well, if somebody does want you to serve longer, I just notified you got another $100, Greg, donation.
Wow, thank you
so
very much.
thank you.
Right.
Appreciate it. I hate to cut you off, but I know you like being cut off.
Well, this
when
is a
it's-
fundraiser. We're
Yeah.
all three trying to make some money tonight to get to the next step, and the next step is in 2 weeks. One thing I want to say is I'm not the party boss's choice, the Republican Party bosses. I'm not their choice. I'm not the special interest choice. I can't be bought and paid for. I'm not the choice of the elites in Huntington Beach or Newport Beach. I'm the people's choice. This is a grassroots campaign run by a campaign manager who's 27 years old and run by millennials. This campaign, when we win, it's going to send shockwaves all the way to Washington. How the hell did Greg Grass win with that team? He doesn't have a $7,000 a month consultant that one of my competitors is paying. He doesn't have a group that they pay $6,000. It takes 15% of all their donations that go, or they take 15% of all their mailers. We go directly to the mailers. We're going to win this race because we're on the ground. We're talking to the people, and the people want Greg Grass to represent them. Like the people of Mission Viejo overwhelmingly voted for me in 2014, 2018.
You know, I agree with you, Greg. I think all of us are not favored by the specialty establishment.
Right.
You know, and that's why we're unique. That's why we are partnering up together to win this for the people of California.
We're all kind of our Trumps in a way. You know, Trump wasn't the party.
Exactly. He's an outsider.
Right.
So we're
all
outsiders. So it's going to be good.
Yeah, they look at a Marine Colonel like, oh, you're retired, go away. And we can handle this in Orange County. We'll take care of it, Greg. Just, you know, we don't need you anymore. Run Mission Viejo. We don't need you in Washington, but we're going to win it. I'm really sure we're going to win it. And it's going to feel good when I do it. Because then they're going to come calling. What can we do to help them?
It's that billboard that you put on your truck and you're driving around.
Right.
That's awesome.
That's winning the vote.
People are honking and thumbs up, and I already voted for you. You're our guy. And it's just hard work. It's hard work, and we're all doing it. And one thing I could say is a congressional race is so intense. You cannot have a full-time job. And all the other 5 people I'm running against have full-time jobs. And while Katie Porter is sitting back and watching, I'll be back here campaigning.
Hey, I want to go back to.
I have a full-time job.
I know, but
Yeah.
Can I throw some
What?
comments
it's a
real
little
quick?
easier for assembly. Plus, I'll be
Okay, I'm put all 3 of you guys on the screen too. Just real
Thank
so
you.
quick comments. We had Greg Grass 2020 from Andrew Bandeck, one of your youngest supporters. Oh, not kind
We
of.
love
He's
Andrew.
20. He's kind of young.
Thanks, Andrew.
Let's see. Jim Julian wanted to point
I
out
love
you
Jim
actually live in the district. All 3 of you do, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Congressional candidates, the Constitution says you have to live in the state, not in the district. There are a couple people in our race that don't live in the district, which by law is legal. But I told the other 2, I said, just run in your own district. You could easily have one of those districts.
I hate to interrupt. This is about money. You have a question on the screen of how do I get to the screen to donate with Apple Pay for Greg?
All right. Call Apple Pay. How do we do that?
If they go to Antidote on their cell phone.
Okay, you go to
And you go to Antidote on your cell phone.
So click on the donation tab.
Yeah, they click donate.
Donate.
Okay.
Well, we're walking through it right now. So we're at the website. It's going. So
now what?
And they can use Apple Pay on the site.
So okay, when it goes, okay, so I get it. So you put your information here, and
Right.
then the option is Apple Pay when it comes time to pay.
There you go.
So there you go. To the person that was just asking
Is that Jim Julian?
That's somebody else. Hold on, I'm manipulating all this. That is James Webb.
Oh, James. Yeah.
James Webb wants to donate with Apple Pay for Greg. So just go through the normal donation process, and that makes me suspect the other candidates have the same thing because we all use pretty much the same pay
Yeah, we
processor.
did it.
That's the Republican.
Yeah.
that Aaron
We use WinRed too. You guys use WinRed?
did. You know what?
You got to
You
get
know,
on that.
Yeah,
There's the
I
four-way.
think we have that, but the thing is, I think the Democrat has a blue.
Yeah, what's the blue thing?
App blue.
App blue, and we have WinRed.
Does that have the same effect as the app blue?
Well, we're trying to catch up, but the Democrats got billions and billions of dollars.
That's crazy.
We're going to work it.
So we need some smart
That's why I hired Cole Patterson.
young kids who can manipulate this for the Republican Party.
Cole.
Come on, if you're out there, come on, get this rolling for us.
Cole wants to win real bad. He gets a winning bonus if he wins.
Nice.
And no other campaigns have TV shows made up out of thin air.
No, we've been on TV. We're on Fox and CNBC and SNBC. We're on Virginia Woods, their private channel. We've been 2 or 3 mailers have been out, and we're in magazines. We're working hard trying to get my name out there, and you guys got to do it for me. We still have people online watching.
Oh yeah, we still got 23 people on that page, so we're way over a few thousand people that have joined us.
We got to stay up till 2 in the morning.
I'll do it. I'll stay up. Me and Cole.
So can
I got to go to church in the morning.
Yeah, me too. So can I say something
Yeah.
to secure our vote this coming election? I think
Yes.
that's the last thing I need to say
Yes.
from those 3 points. Okay, so reminder for all Californians, do not mail in your absentee ballot.
Do
Yes,
not.
do not.
You break the chain right there.
Yes, do not.
Chain of custody.
Yes, because in 2018 there was bags and bags of absentee ballots that were not counted for.
Yeah, in the back of the post office.
Exactly.
So
this
walk
time
them
around,
in. Walk them in, right?
yes, walk them in and drop it off at
A voter center.
the voter center or voter box.
Box.
But if you don't feel secure, go at the voter center and give it to someone and hand it and get the information, and then go online and verify that it's got off and it's countable. And then the other thing is making sure that you're proactive this coming election by bringing a patriot with you when you go out and vote at the voter center. Okay. 2.
What do you mean?
No.
What do you mean you got to bring a patriot? Where do you
No,
go find
bring a patriot. Bring a friend.
a friend?
A friend.
Oh, okay. Well, you go find some.
Trump supporter.
You go down to Pendleton and bring up some sergeant.
Hey, that'd be awesome
Right.
too. So bring a friend with you
Okay.
this coming election, and then go vote together. Okay. And then, 2 is know that there's a lot of cheating, so be watchful and mindful of what's going on.
And you got to fill out the whole box. Don't put an X through the box.
Mhm.
Fill out the whole thing out with blue or black ink.
Exactly. And then please share this information with all your friends and family. And let's make sure that your vote are counted for March 3rd, 2020.
Right.
And as conservative, we have a couple of voter guys. Craig Huey are a big one.
Right.
And we vet all the candidates from a congressional, state level, and supervisor as well, and other judges. So you can go there, click your county, and then you can see all the rating. 5-star is highly recommended. 1 star is like,
Right.
don't go.
Does he do both Republicans and Democrats?
No,
Just
Republicans only.
Okay.
Exactly. He's a conservative himself.
Right.
So we need to win
All right.
California.
What else we got to do?
So then Christian, okay, this time around, I'm calling you to come out and vote this March 3rd, 2020, because in 2018, it was it was over 4 million Christian that did not go out and vote. So it's our vote. It's us. It's going to be on us. If we didn't fight for our family, if we didn't fight for our children, it's going to be on us. So this coming election, we must vote, okay? So we need to do that because, as you know, the whole sexualizing, as Kelly can see in California, it's whatever happens in California will be implemented in other states. And so it's vital that we as Christians consider a Christian who loves God and go to church on Sunday, and then we must rise up and vote.
All right, there's the bell.
There's the bell. There's the timer.
All right.
Let's go back and look at the website. So try to get some more donations.
All right. So is
there's-
it 10 o'clock yet? Ooh, it's 10:20.
That's past,
10:20.
So there's Greg's website, Greg Raths.
Right.
Amy Finlis for Congress. KellyEarnby.com. So check those websites out and try
All
to
right.
donate.
We ready to wrap it up, or
I'll stay on for a little longer with Cole.
you want to talk, Cole?
Yeah, give the candidates a break. If you guys want to take a break, we'll put the cameras back on us, and we will chat. Are you gonna take a break? You gotta go.
I can
You
check
take a break.
them.
Take a break. Yeah, take a break. Or you can take these off if they're bothering you. Is that better? If you want to go without them. Okay. So there's Cole right there.
You know, so I just wanted to talk to our viewers about how we use campaign donations. I heard about you guys talking about that earlier, and I felt like maybe I can give a little bit more of a insight on from a campaign manager's perspective. So I know that it can be a little bit unclear sometimes of how the contributions are used to build campaigns, and I feel like I'll just give a little breakdown of how some of the donations are being spent. So first of all, is organizing. So having a robust ground game requires our supporters and volunteers to have the resources that they need to execute a field strategy. And the grassroots support has been our backbone of our campaign. And they need help to mobilize support within the community. Oh, I can see myself. That's funny.
Then we could do a split screen if you like. So there's Amy right there, and then you can even talk with. Oh, hold on. Let me get it back. We can get all three of us on at one time. There's you, and then there's Amy right there.
So first thing, organizing. That's having a great ground game. That's getting your supporters resources together. There's paid media. So if you're running a race such as ours, we are paying to advertise on TV. We're running micro-targeting on the internet. We are advertising on Facebook, YouTube, Hulu, other streaming services. We pay for advertising on radio. We advertise on Google. We SEO, everything in between. And the more and more that people hear the message, you hope that it starts resonating more with the voters, which will hopefully lead to an increase in donations. And then the last one would be operations. So these are just the essentials to keep the lights on. You've got to have your yard signs, campaign literature, direct mail, your website, your email service, your email provider. And we've got to host events. So we have town halls, we have rallies, we have meet and greets, we do fundraising events. We do events like this, and we got to pay for my pizza tonight.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I just wanted to give a little bit of an insight into how some of that stuff works, and maybe how some of the campaign managers think about spending the money. And you best believe that on this campaign, we spend every single penny really wisely. And as Greg told you guys before, he's a staunch fiscal conservative, and he really practices what he preaches. And I'll tell you that first-hand experience that when he gets to Washington D.C., he's not going to be wasting your money, and you're not going to be wasting your time either.
Yeah, we're doing the same thing in our campaign too. You know, we have to budget all those things. And as a mother of 3 boys, you know, and as a wife, you know, that's what we do at our household. We budget the needs and the wants, and that's what Congress needs to do as well. I see Congress as holding the purse of America, and yet look at the House. Look at AOC wasting our money, you know, squads, you know, all of them. They're giving money to a country that wants to kill us. Why? Why are we wasting our tax dollars?
AOC, that reminds me of a video. I wonder if we could play it and not get hit and audio stripped.
It's on C-SPAN. You can if it's...
No, it's set. It's it was a message for John Park for GIR, and there's a picture of AOC in it. However, I think we might get away with it because just part of us. It is the whole song, but well, I don't know. I mean, we could try it. It might mute our audio. So yeah.
It's okay. I think we should keep with this just in case. You know.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. You know, I'm really glad that yourself and Greg are both running. Kind of like you, Kelly, and Greg were talking about earlier. I'm a big fan of all three of you guys because they're all outsider candidates, even not paid for and bought off by the special interest groups or the party bosses or the Newport Beach elite, like I like to call them. And I know that Trump calls everybody the elite, but it's kind of funny because really here in Orange County, I began to really understand that there is an elite, and I am not part of that elite. I'm just like kind of Greg said, I'm just a 27-year-old kid. I have worked for a member of Congress. I used to work for Congressman Robotham. But I'm definitely not your run-of-the-mill Washington consultant. I'm actually one of Greg's constituents. I reside here in Mission Viejo, and he's been a great mayor, and I really care about him a lot. And seeing him get to this point. It just makes me really proud, and knowing that in a couple of weeks we might be able to pull this thing off.
Yeah.
It's going to be a wonderful feeling kind of election night.
Someone's
celebrating.
Michelle Gall, you know her? She said
Hi,
it's
Michelle.
hard to hear Cole.
Oh, sorry.
So what, you need to eat the mic, I guess.
Man. I know. I hate my voice too. Goodness gracious.
You sound great. You sound wonderful. Hear about some background music. Better. There you go. Now you can just. Melissa Snow. Sorry. Never mind.
Melissa Snow gave us a donation.
I wasn't going to say that because they would have commented publicly for that. Now I got to meet the. They said they're still watching. Jeff and Melissa are still watching. They're texting me. So hi, Jeff. Hi, Melissa.
Hi.
There's me. Hold on. There's everyone. Let's put us all on a split 3 screen. So I'll get. There you go. I'm gonna put some background noise. And actually, I'll put some music on for them. I don't know if they can hear our music, so we'll put some soundtrack on there for them. You guys keep on talking.
So Amy,
Yes.
what was the first thing that really made you dive right into running for Congress?
Right? I have that.
So there's always like that moment of decision. Meaning Greg's was he woke up the morning after meeting Walter's loss and thought to himself, well, it's either now or never.
Yeah.
I got to stand up and do something about this before it's too late. So what was yours?
So for me, it was like, oh my gosh, the push when I watch all the all the presidential Democrat candidates pushing for socialism, free everything. I'm like, are you kidding? What country am I living in? Like, I came here from Vietnam for freedom, for opportunity, for our rights to be protected. And yet I'm coming to hear Sanders, Pocahontas, and all of them pushing socialism.
Let's watch your show, your video again.
Okay.
Because we got a whole bunch of new people. So we're gonna watch Amy Fan West's commercial.
Striving for freedom, you know, a land of opportunity, which is America. Everyone flocked to America. Hi, my name is Amy Fan West. I'm running for Congress for the 47th District, which is from Westminster all the way to Long Beach. I escaped Vietnam when I was 4 years old. My dad, when he was 11 years old, on a fishing boat with my grandpa, and the communist regime came into our village and killed my grandpa, shot him 16 times. He died. My dad promised when he gets older, he's gonna go fight the communist regime. And so when he was 16, he changed his age to 18 so he can go join the war and help the Americans to fight the communist regime. So that's what he did. He got injured 3 times and then got sent home. And then when he got home, he married my mom. And then that's when the communists took over Vietnam. He and my mom went to the jungle to live, to hide away from the communist regime, because if they find out, they would kill him. And so there in the jungle, he gave birth to my older sister, myself, and then my 2 twin younger brothers. And before the first attempt to escape Vietnam, he got imprisoned by the communist regime for 6 months, and they tortured him. And I don't ask him, you know, what happened, but you can imagine. So then they let him out. A year later, he told my mom, he said, if we stay here, we will die in the hands of the communist regime. But if we leave, at least we die as a free people in the sea. So he gathered my family. My mom was 6 months pregnant with my younger sister. My older sister, me, and my 2 twin younger brother hid us underneath the fishing boat, head out in the early morning. As a fisherman, so no one would know, you know, he's just going out. And so whatever food supply we have, whatever clothes on we have, water supply, that's what we went. In 3 days, we ran out of fresh water. But thank God, by the grace of God, by the oil tanker out there, the German oil tanker, took us in, give us food, water, and sent us over to Thailand refugee camps. And there, we were there for a year and a half. We're trying to seek asylum to come to America. And I remember we were sleeping on dirt ground in the refugee camp in Thailand. There wasn't beds. There wasn't hot water for shower. Water supply was not there. It was limited. Food supply, a lot of rotten food, because the embassy, when they give money to the Thailand people, they pocket it for themselves and buy really spoiled food for us to feed the refugee people. And people were starving there and they're fighting just to get water. And so I remember all of those things, and we're sleeping on dirt ground. So the hardship I understand as a refugee, and the striving for freedom, you know, a land of opportunity, which is America. Everyone flocked to America because they know this is where they can have the freedom to be successful, freedom to speak their mind, freedom to work, freedom to provide for their family. So then we were sent over to the Philippines for 6 months, and they flew us over to Huntington Beach, California, and surround us are a Christian community that share the gospel to us. And we are proud American, Vietnamese American. And we love this country. We love the freedom that afford us here. And I want to fight to preserve that freedom that we have here. This country is great is because it's upheld by our constitutional right. It's not like North Korea, dictatorship, or communist China, or Vietnam, or Venezuela. It is a free country, free nation that basically allow us to be thriving and to be successful. Hi, my name is Amy Fan West. Vote for me on March 3rd, 2020. Learn more at amyfanwestforcongress.com.
And we're back. Sorry, mics were off. So anyway, I'm going to play some more of the commercials. One for Kelly Earnby, as well the last mission cut for Greg Grass. So here is Kelly Earnby's commercial. This is short, little short clip about her thoughts on illegals and taxation. Let's play it.
Hi, I'm Kelly Earnby. I'm running for the state assembly. I want to end sanctuary cities. I want to stop free handouts to the illegal immigrants so we can return our state to law and order once again. I will fight to protect our borders. We have a legal system. We need to follow it. Vote for Kelly Earnby for assembly.
And we're back. We're going ahead and play Greg Grass' final mission commercial.
I moved to Orange County in 1978 as a young first lieutenant in the Marine Corps. It was beautiful then, just as it is now. As a jet fighter pilot, I traveled around the world, the Middle East, Australia, the Far East, South America, and Europe. I saw my share of combat. 300 plus carrier landings and 75 combat missions will make you long for solid ground in coming home. In Washington, I've seen how a political crisis like an impeachment can put the country on shaky ground, threatening our unity and our national security. But I've also seen how getting involved can make a difference. As mayor of Mission Viejo, my mission has been to make this great place even better, and I did. Today, my children are having children, and I want them to grow up in a safe environment. As your representative for California's 45th Congressional District, my last mission will be to keep Orange County secure and prosperous for all of our families. I am Greg Raths, and I approve this message. I moved to Orange County.
Okay, and we are back with Cole and Amy, and Kelly will be back in her chair in just a moment to say goodbye. But we're going to talk about some of these questions.
Well, before we get to the questions, I just want to thank Kelly for coming out this evening, and we really appreciate your support. And I'm glad that we had such a great group of candidates together tonight. And if you want to say any last words before you take off.
Yeah, well, I think most important now are votes. And so I know, there's some really great supporters that joined us tonight, but what you need to do as a supporter is tell everyone you know to go out and vote and to tell them who your favorite candidates are. And the primary is very important in our races. It's contested. And so in order to win in the general, you really need to have that greatest, best candidate. And a lot of people sit at home and don't worry about the primary. They wait till the general, and that's a big problem.
That's a mistake.
Right, you need to get out there right now and make sure that your favorite candidate is going to end up in the general. And that takes, sending some emails, making some phone calls, sharing this broadcast and going on people's websites and sharing it. And everyone can play a part in helping, each of us get elected, even if you can't afford to write the big checks or or donate. There's so many other things that you can do, and so we're just, what is it, 17 days now that we're counting down.
I'd like to recognize
So-
people that just made some donations to you guys, if you like.
Good,
So
thank you.
we have Jim Julian. He said, Apple Pay option works. I just donated to Greg Rath's website. That's awesome.
Yeah, we just hit our goal, so thank you, everybody.
Wow, that's awesome. Then
Good.
Melissa Snow says, Pocahontas, go Amy Fan
Oh, we
West.
love Melissa. Hey, Melissa.
Oh, man.
Then,
Miss you. Haven't seen you for a while. Hope all is well. See you Thursday morning.
okay, so he said he had issue with Apple Pay, but he still made the donation with his credit card. So thank you, James Webb. We really appreciate
Yeah,
that.
James, big supporter. Thanks, James.
And then Melissa Snow commenting again with a happy face this time. Pocahontas, smiley happy face with tears crying so loud. Amy Fan West. Okay. I'll read this one from Melissa Snow. Our universities glorify communism. What is your plan to educate our college students, Amy Fan West?
You want me to answer that?
Sure, it's on the screen here. We put a big screen for you.
I'm going to bed, so
Okay.
I've hit my goal.
Okay, we're gonna
You
stay.
guys can stay at my house, have fun, and there's coffee, cookies, whatever you guys want. So
Well, we can double your goal. How about that?
I'm gonna go to Saddleback Church tomorrow.
So once we pass midnight, then we have a whole new goal.
Go hang out. All right, you guys. Kelly, I wish you
Yeah,
all the
no,
best.
I'm
You
gonna
guys,
be
John.
going on back to Huntington Beach
all right,
now,
you got
so
Amy.
it's been a very good
Okay.
night. Thank
Cole and
you,
I will wrap it up.
everyone.
Okay.
You got Amy.
Yeah, maybe I'll answer this last question, huh?
Okay. Did you want to say goodbye quickly? Then I'll hang out with Amy later.
Kelly.
Oh, sorry.
Yes.
Kelly, did you want to say goodbye?
It is getting late. Yeah,
And
no,
then
goodbye,
we'll
everybody.
close it
Thank
up.
you for listening, and make sure you vote, and look forward to seeing you guys all out on the campaign trail. I'll be walking
Awesome.
and knocking on doors, and people will be calling, and vote for Kelly Ernby for Assembly, and I'll fight for you and all of us in Sacramento. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Okay. So back to us.
Yes.
All right.
I'll sit over there.
Yeah, sit there, and then I'll flip the camera around.
Kelly.
So as she comes around, we're just she's gonna sit right here, so we can have the way the cameras are settled in this big table. I'll post photos later. We have giant big lights and multiple cameras all across the table, and then she's gonna come right back here and sit with me. So we're gonna answer your questions in just a second. Put it back on.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So we've
All
got
right.
Cole. And for some reason, where's Cole? Where's your camera froze? Yeah, your camera froze. Okay.
Right.
So, okay. Uh-oh, you got multiple, no? Okay, there we go.
There you go.
All the cameras froze.
No, I think it's good now.
Yeah, you're good.
I'm normal.
Okay, so we're good.
I think it needs to zoom in,
Okay.
right? Do you
No,
need to zoom in?
We're good.
I'm blurry.
Okay. No, you can.
Really?
Yeah, I'll show you. Okay.
If I do go home,
I'm good. We focused it. Okay, so your question is, our university for communism, what is your plan to educate our college students in Amy Fan West? By Melissa Snow.
That's a great question. So I've been already at different colleges, campus in my district. So I've been addressing the socialism question, and I asked them, first I want to address the educational system. And I asked them, do you guys take courses that doesn't pertain to your major? All of them raise your hand. And I go, exactly. Your education is rigged. And they don't care. Wasting your time and wasting your money. So for me, I'm proposing 2 years college, get all the classes that you need, and then get out and get a job or whatever you need. You know, you're just feeding those educator, a big paycheck basically. Why you are completely in debt forever. And then the other thing is, I go, I have a question for you guys. Why do you guys like the AOC? And they say, well, she stands for something. She's, doing something for the Green New Deal, blah, blah, blah. And I go, you know what? Do you know what the Green New Deal well, let me ask you guys something. Do you guys like your hamburger? And they're like, yeah, we love our meat. And I go, yes, I do too. And I go, do you guys like to travel around the world to Paris and visit other places? And they say, yes. I go, exactly, I do too. But with the Green New Deal, basically it's taking you backwards. You cannot fly. You cannot eat your meat. Because they think cow farting is actually, releasing too much CO2, and it's going to kill all of us. And not only that, but with the airplane, it's too much, pollution. And the thing is that I'm like, this is just crazy. This is bizarre. And then I go, as a Republican, I know, me personally believe that you guys want to be responsible adults, and the whole socialism push to pay all your debts doesn't help your responsibility as an adult. And what we need to do is target the higher education, the loan company, because they shouldn't charge you 20%, 15%. You guys are an investment in the future. It should be like a home loan, between 3 to 4%. And that's how it should be. And they shouldn't take advantage of you. And then the other thing is, I go, as Republican, we have a lot of good issue and platform that we can stand on and present, where the younger generation can jump on board. Because the younger generation, the college age, they're saying, I just want to be part of something. I have a good heart. I want to do something for society. And that's what the Democrat has capitalized on and reach the younger generation with their heart issue, to have them follow them. So as Republican, that's what we're missing. As a GOP, we need to target the younger generation. If we don't address them, we don't fill the void that's going on in their lives and address it, we're going to lose that whole generation of future Republicans.
I completely agree.
And so that's what we need to do. And that's the failure within the GOP. As I mentioned earlier, the California GOP is completely broken. Our system here is so bad, and the leadership isn't doing anything about it. And the problem is, okay, we have ballot harvesting. We have the college student, loans. We have the college age student. How are we reaching them? How are we raising up the next generation to take to run for office? I mean, as a delegate for the California GOP, they have never asked us to look for other leaders and train them up for this 2020 election.
Well, that's something I've been actually kind of hammering about down here in South Orange County. If you go out to eastern California, it's a very prominent activity that Democrats will set up the younger generation for success. So they will start on a commission for a city, and then they'll move to a county commission, then they'll run for city council. And then before you know that person's running for state assembly or state senate or a statewide elected office. And Republicans need to do the same thing too.
You know what?
I'm really upset that they've just failed to start electing young people. And I know that they've maybe finally started to come around to it. Like maybe Tara Campbell is a great example of a youngster that's been able to kind of break through the fuzz. And now we've got our own Ben Chapman who will be able to break through the fuzz. But come on, is that it? Are we two and done? Or are we gonna get some more? I think there's a whole bunch of 25 to 35-year-olds that we need to start setting up for success, and that means appointing them to those commissions and giving them the hand up to be able to progress into that city council seat, into that state assembly seat, into that Congress seat.
Exactly.
I'm tired of us losing and then scratching our heads later and wondering how we lost. It's been going on for years, and I call it's where they put in a candidate into a district that will not be read that election, but they want to see how well a good candidate will do against an average candidate that nobody's challenged before. And guess what? It's going to happen here in 73. It's going to happen in Assembly District 74. It's going to happen in Assembly District 72. It's going to happen here in 45. And guess what? Now we have Katie Porter.
Exactly. I completely agree with you. The thing is that, I think the GOP in California thinks that they still have the power. But look, the Democrat leadership in the last 45 years in California, they are the supermajority. We, as Republican GOP, do not have the power. If they want to continue to have the power as a GOP, they must get off their lazy butt and start doing the job for the people, for the Republican Party. And I'm sick and tired of it. I'm talking to the top, okay? All of you guys, you have your title. I'm challenging Jessica. I'm challenging Sean Steele. I'm challenging all of them. Every chair
okay, in every county in California. Phil Whitaker, Fred Whitaker, all of you guys, I'm challenged you guys. If you want the power back, you must. I know you are our leader. You must rise up for the occasion and train the people, address ballot harvesting, address, the younger generation and how to train them for running for other office in 2 more years. 2020 is going to be done very soon. So it's time that we raise them up for 2022. I'm sick and tired of the Democrat taking seats after seats. And we're just sitting on the fence, being on the safe. And I'm sick and tired of it. And you know what the thing, like I said earlier, it's going to be on us as Republicans. If we lose 2020, it's on us. No one else to blame but except for us, the GOP. So it's time that you rise up, get the job done, get your lazy butt off of there, and stop having a wine and a social club. Okay? I'm sick and tired of that. Get the job done. And not only that, but the people, I'm speaking out loud for the people of California. All of them are feeling this, okay? That's the reason why the GOP is not getting a lot of donation in, okay? And you know that. And I've been telling people too, do not give to the GOP because it's so broken. Your money would not go anywhere except for their social club, for their wine and dine. It's time that you give to a candidate that you believe in, and your money will go farther. Until the GOP is fixed and reformed, this coming election is vital. 2020, we will be electing those candidates who are running for Central Committee that actually care for the people in their county, in California, and actually going to get their butt working for the people and the Republican Party in California, and we will flip it red.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
I'm down with that.
I was showing on your website when we were talking.
Oh, thank you. So please donate to help me continue this fight, okay? As a, Congress, a candidate for Congress, yet have you seen or hear any other Republican GOP candidate went in and spy on the Democrat ballot harvest training and get intel? No one. Okay? I'm yet not a congresswoman, but yet I got the balls to go there, okay, and get intel for us as a Republican and how to be proactive and how to secure our vote. So I need your help. Donate to help me fight for you and to be your voice, fight for your children, your family, your businesses, your property, your house that you live here in California. I mean, look at the Democrats' leadership for the last 45 years. They've done nothing for us. And the GOP, it's time that we rise up and do not be like the Democrats, okay? The GOP right now is just like the Democrat, but 10 years behind, okay? As a delegate for the California GOP, I was so fed up. In the summer, we found out the platform for the GOP in California. We no longer have God in our platform. We no longer being counteractive to protect our children with the sex education. You know what the GOP said? That every children has the right to have the best education, but if the education, sexual education, is too explicit, the parents can opt them out. I go, do you even know the law in California that the Assembly floor and the Senate floor pass? No, the parents do not have the right to opt out of those sexualizing. What we should do as a GOP platform is to say those who want this teaching should opt into it. Not the majority of the parents have to work to make sure we opt out or do something or homeschool. I mean, what are the GOP platform and how are they fighting for our children and our family values?
Well, I'm totally with you on that. I think that one of the big problems that the party's having is a crisis of identity. They're not sure which way to go. They're not sure whether they should evolve into something different or if they should go back to some of their core fundamental beliefs. And I think there's a big schism happening, and people like yourself and Kelly and Greg are left out in the dust, and they kind of let them fend for themselves while
They pick and choose favorites and decide that one candidate is going to be more viable than another. And just to be honest, I think people are getting tired of it.
Exactly.
I'm getting tired of it. And if they want to find out why we are the third party and not the second largest party, well, all they have to do is take the blinders off. It doesn't take a super genius to realize what's going on around here.
Exactly.
Actually kind of cracks me up when I'm thinking about a lot of these individuals who kind of control the dice, and instead of doing things that are going to be beneficial for the long term, a lot of them are in for a short-term gain. And as a young person, it really concerns me because I want to stay in California. All my friends, just like you were talking about earlier, and Kelly's was talking about she wanted to run because her brother moved. All my friends moved, and I was a STEM student, so it was really upsetting for me. All my friends were like, "Oh, guess what? I got a job at Google," and I was like, "Oh, sick." Over in Newport Beach? No, in Dallas.
Yeah.
I don't get to see them anymore. What about them? You know what I mean? Kids my age, I'm not sure. I'm 27. I was born in '92, so I'm really feeling it. I know that my peers are feeling it, and even worse, my kids are gonna feel it. My grandkids are gonna feel it, and their kids are gonna feel it. And we can't do this anymore.
Exactly.
It's time to change it.
Exactly. On that note, you mentioned earlier that the GOP is letting us fend for ourselves, and that's exactly, you nail it on the head. So I can give an example and attest to it. As the process for LA GOP completely, then the OC GOP. So I follow the process, okay, that they require each candidate to seek out endorsement. So I did. I followed the process. And then the two other Republicans didn't care to seek and follow the process. Their excuses was, "Oh, Amy's the favorite one." I'm like, "What? That's your excuse?" And then the other one say, "Oh, I got 10 signatures, but I couldn't get the rest." And I go, "Are you kidding me? I'm a mother of 3 boys. I'm a mother, a wife, and a small business owner. I'm running around like my head cut off, and I got the over 25 signatures. And yet you guys make excuses, and you guys, what?" And yet they get a chance to present their case. And then not only that, when we heard all this accusation from one of the Republican candidates against me, all this sexual inappropriate touch, the California GOP has filed a lawsuit against him as well. And yet the Central Committee stood up and say, "Tonight we're moving forward not to endorse Amy Fan West." I'm like, "Are you kidding me? You Central Committee just sat there on your fat butt, think you're high and mighty, that we need to kiss your butt."
We have the video of the guy that they will not endorse you against.
You can play that afterward, but let me finish. And then you basically telling me, as any candidate, GOP candidate, try to run for office, should never seek your endorsement, should never need to follow the process, because at the end of the day, it doesn't even matter. You're going to let us hang to dry, and you're not going to move forward to stand with us or give us the resource to fight the Democrats in the state of California. And I'm freaking sick and tired of your high and mighty attitude. You've done nothing for the GOP candidate. It's time that you get the hell out of Central Committee.
Okay. So.
You know what? Honestly, Mark, this issue needs to be addressed, because I'm sick and tired, because everyone knows that. I talk to every candidate who's running. That is one thing that they say about the GOP, is that they let them hang to dry and they do not stand with them. That's how broken the GOP is. It's time that we get new Central Committee in this March 2020 election. And the thing is that we need a clean house everywhere, and for me, you know how horrible that feels when a candidate try to run for office and yet their own team, the GOP, let me hang to dry and throw me to the wolves, basically, to defend myself. Do you know how frustrating and how lonely and how devastating that feels?
Well, it's funny because...
Can we talk about something that good happened to you?
Oh,
You had a big endorsement recently. Can we talk about that?
Oh, positive.
Yeah. I mean, see, the thing is that people's watching my race, okay? And they see the injustice of my own party doing to me. And then, Steve Bowen, Steve Bowen, right? He came in to endorse me, and he's backing me up because you know why? I'm an outsider. He understands what's going on. It's time that people like this needs to rise and make a difference.
That's a big endorsement.
Exactly.
That's a big endorsement.
Yeah, and he's a Republican.
Really funny is that earlier before I came out here, I was talking to my parents on the phone, and I said that Steve had endorsed you to my mom, and my mom was like, he's like big time. I was like,
exactly, the whole family.
Yeah, Mom, I'm a big boy now. And the people I know are getting endorsements from big time celebrities. It's crazy.
Exactly. I wasn't even expecting it, and I feel like,
People are looking at your screen right now. They don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, right there. So Steve, do you guys see that?
Stephen Baldwin recently endorsed Amy Fan West for Congress, California Congressional District 47.
Can you play that video?
I will try. I haven't tried to play
Am
YouTube
I linked
videos
right
before.
here?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and see if people can watch it. We'll watch.
There.
See if people can watch it. If someone at home, can you pull up your phone to see if we haven't played
sound
YouTube videos before, so this will be a new one for us. See if it goes. Send me that. And I'll clean it up for you. The sound on that one.
Awesome. Thank you.
I think is really interesting too is what an amazing. How did that even happen?
Yeah, that's all I was gonna say. How did you meet him?
Well, this is the thing. I can say one thing. I believe there's however you call it, higher being, God. I believe that there's a God that watched over each of our lives. And he watched and he see the injustice happen to us because we're his children. And he's going to make it right for us. So I feel like when my expectation was my party, the GOP, to back me up, to stand with me, but yet they did not. And I feel like it's God who came around and used other people to back me up and stand with me in this fight. And God is good. So if I'm talking to you, you're running a race in California or any hard state, and you feel like you're the only one, remember you're not alone. Even though everyone forsake you or abandon you in a way because of their political interests, you're not alone. You are known in the eyes of God, and he watched over you, and he's there with you. He'll never leave you or forsake you. He will be your defender, and he will stand with you if everyone else fell. And that's what I learned in this race. And running for politics, it's a lonely gig, but it's a blessing to know that God is with you and other people who see your hearts and standing with you in this fight. So for those who've been donating today, I really appreciate your support. That means a lot to me, my family, and my team, that you stand with me in this fight for California and for America and for all children. And that's the hope I will do in Congress, and that's my plan to do. And thank you so much for your support and standing with me in this, and other candidates who are running. And that is an encouragement,
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cry.
Okay. I cried last time. Sorry. when
I
we were
just want to
talking
be
about your,
honest, and vulnerable because that's real, and I think that's an issue that no other candidate is willing to be transparent about that. And I don't mind being transparent to my constituent and the American people because they need to see this, how broken it is, and they need to stand with great candidates to fight this.
Yeah, well, hey, that's why we all wanted to get each other on tonight. We're all kind of some outsiders who have been on some big uphill battles, and trust me, you're not the first person nor the last person to start climbing the campaign trail. I might have raised my hand a few times, but pulled out my hair too much,
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think until someone runs for office, they won't understand the time consuming and the heartaches within this.
Yeah, waking up at 6 in the morning, 5 in the morning, 4 in the morning, not going to bed until
You have a lot of comments,
1 in the
Amy.
morning, 2 in the morning.
Hold on,
Oh,
you
I
got a
do.
lot of comments.
Good, yeah, she's
Let's
amazing.
let's put them up. Let's react to them. Hold on. So that's
okay,
all of
let's
us.
do
Let's
it.
put us all up on the screen. So you got a bunch of comments. That
I do.
come
Let me
in.
see.
Be on the House floor. Get those
Okay, I'll
Thank
go ahead and read
you.
the comments.
Uh-huh.
First time I've heard of Amy, and I love her. Energy and activism.
Oh, thank you. Who's that?
Thanks, James.
James. It's on the big screen if you
Oh,
can see over there.
Thank you, James.
Natasha.
He's actually one of Greg's supporters, and hey, James, thank you so much for your support. We appreciate it.
Okay,
Thank you, James.
I'll
I
get through the rest of these
appreciate that.
comments. I pray you win, Amy. God bless you. You're a fighter. I love that. Can't
Thank
vote
you.
for you. I'm in Greg's district, but if I was in your district, I would definitely vote for you. How about donating $5? Just $5. $10. God is good. Thank you for saying that, Amy. That's what Michelle. Oh, sorry, so you guys can see the
thank you,
comments on the
Michelle.
screen. Natasha says, "I pray you win. Bless you. You're a fighter." Okay, she already had that comment.
Thank you.
And a bunch of praying hands with you, Amy. And then James Webb says she has real passion. And then
Thank you, James.
we need real passion. So we got all those comments. I could keep talking, but Amy, it's a tough act to follow. You gave a very moving speech. So
I was just sharing my heart, and I just feel like I'm speaking out loud for the people and what I've experienced. And I know a lot of people experience the same thing. So I'm speaking out loud for the people. And I think right now what the people need is transparency. And they want people to be real. The real, that's what they want. They see so much fake news, I guess you can say, right? So much fakeness. So it's time that we be real to the American people and the people in our district.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm getting pretty tired, so I think
Really?
I might call that personally.
Okay, well, you know what else we still have to do? We still got to take down all this equipment. Yeah. If you guys didn't understand, see inside, you see all these lights in here. I'm going to give you guys a view of everything. You see the light behind me? That's one of the lights. That's okay. We don't have to throw it away. But eventually, we will get ourselves a studio soon, so we won't have to be mobile in my truck, taking it place to place.
Have a good night, Greg.
Oh, I got the. Hold on. Are we there? Okay, there we are, right there. So yeah, we'll start tearing down the equipment soon, and all these little tiny wires have to be wrapped up and everything. But I could talk a little longer if you like.
Yeah, I can talk
I
with
hope
you.
I'm not upsetting. You're throwing me around now with all the cameras and different angles.
Sorry.
It's all right. So that on me now? Oh, we're back to normal. Okay. I think because I have two screens. I have the one. I should have two screens. So there's also you can see this. So
Yeah, it's
I think we've
perfect.
covered
So
everything. We still got 14
maybe
people
we
watching
can
us.
be personal on different issues. We
could
can
talk
ask
about
questions.
schools. That's if
You know-
someone's over concerned, they'll be made fun of, a mom or something, that they're paranoid. But when we did risk analysis in the military, we look at most likely and most deadly. In this case, most likely is getting hit by a car near a school. And that did happen last year to my son's classmate. He was drove under a car. It was horrible. And I went to there 2 years before to the school district. I said, this is a dangerous area. This is my expertise. It's pretty obvious. And they ignored it. So I did it. I went and made a call to the city. And the city, they said, thanks. They got it done in 4 weeks.
Nice.
So it's little things like that. We do have very deadly things like active shooter, horrible stuff.
Yes.
And it's all about, because people say, they ask the general question, how do you make schools safe? And it's really a very boring process of risk assessment, risk analysis. I'll put that just on me there. You don't have to look.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Sorry.
But it's mathematical risk calculations.
Mhm.
Identifying the risk. Mitigating it, implementing controls, things like that.
Exactly. Well, being a sanctuary state does not help California for safety wise for our children. As a mother of 3 boys, that's my high priority. And yet, being a congresswoman, um, Amy, I am going to donate to you. And this is Natasha. Thank you so much. You are real and need to win. Thank you, Natasha, for your support. That means a lot. Thank you.
You're gonna make me cry. Stop that. Stop it. Let's talk about happy stuff. You're probably gonna win. I think. I think in that video. Let's play your video one last time for everyone before we go. I helped you with that. I'm very proud of that. And that thing has got what 20,000? How many thousands of views? I know
don't
the
know.
first one's got like 5,000. You shared it again. That another 5,000 views, and then you put it in Vietnamese, and that was probably another 5,000. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that really, yeah, that was like the first one I did too. I was very proud of that work.
You did a good
Did
job.
Stephen Baldwin see that one?
I think he did.
Yes, that's awesome.
Yeah, I think he did.
That's-
And as he a producer, that's pretty good
Well,
for
yeah.
us starters, right? And
Yeah, thankfully the technology is there.
yeah, exactly. And back to school, I think it's important for me, when I become a congresswoman, safety is key. I want to incentivize retired vets and retired police officers to retrain and volunteer at our school campuses. I mean,
Well-
they would willingly volunteer to
Well,
protect our children.
there's all sorts of security measures. I used to write security plans, like the detailed ones for military bases, hospitals, schools. And when I say anti-terrorism officers, what I did, it's not counterterrorism. Counterterrorism is like special forces, Delta, Navy SEALs. That is not. That's counterterrorism. They go out and kill the bad guys. Fortunately, those guys have trouble getting jobs and they get back. Mine, however, is very in need because it's safety, security plan, and risk analysis. The book, do 100,000 page security plan. And
That's
I did
awesome.
one once. I rewrote the security plan for the Pacific region out of Hawaii for all of the bases, the Army side, not all the bases, the Army. And those units from Alaska, Guam, Saipan, Samoa, Japan, Korea, and the master plan. And then we trained our subordinate units to do their plans, and then we gave them resources. We exercised it. So I guess where I'm going with it is, what are some real things that, how to implement real measures, not just crazy things like give everybody a gun or take everyone's guns away. That's not the case.
Exactly.
And when I was a commanding officer, I had 140 soldiers, I had a couple hundred guns, some tanks, all, just like you think, right? Out of 140, not all 140 were ever allowed to have guns at one time because they had something going on. People ask, should teachers have guns? Well, that's a trick question. They already are, because we have something called police officers that are also teachers. Some police officers substitute teachers.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and also, but what really works, you're talking about the cops in the schools, is uniformed police officer is actually a form of, a deterrence criminal. They see the cops
Exactly.
around the kids. Like, we love it. All the parents love it in my kids' schools. When we see the cops there in the morning passing out stickers and high-fiving,
Yeah.
all the parents love that.
Exactly.
And I have a big issue. They don't do it enough. But they have police officers in all the high schools, but not where they're most vulnerable at the K through 6. And the really security plans are really awful.
Exactly.
And it's all a big show. And I'm not going to preview my campaign. I'm going to come out very hard. My campaign is all about helping everyone else with you, trying to help you, Greg, Kelly, and everyone else.
Yeah.
But
And to answer that question, as we have high security for the banks, right?
yeah, printed money.
Money.
But they're
And yet our
responsible
children is worth nothing
Well,
than a printed money.
Well, we're talking about our kids, and because I'm a father, we're both parents, little kids, right?
Yes.
Our little kids look like
exactly.
the 3 brothers.
Exactly.
But I'm a manifestation of the frustration, anger in the schools. Now, there's one school board member that I'm running against. I've known who he was. I don't know him at all. He's never talked to me in 4.5 years. I sent multiple emails, phone calls. Never talked to me, even when I wasn't running years ago, about serious issues. I don't know why he's even there. It's like an empty suit. I'm like, dude, I don't even know you. But the other school board members I've become friends with, there's one that's pretty good. There's one I'm helping her husband. He's on city council. Good guy. So, yeah, it's...
So this is the thing. When you get your seat,
I'm going to win.
Of course. And then that's where we work together. That's how we're going to make California better. is that federal, state level, and local office working together, fixing the homeless problem, safety for our children, fixing the educational system, fixing the healthcare issue. All that we work side by side, and that's how it is with federal. As you know, I don't have a say in education as much as you do,
I know,
right?
I know. Let me say this one thing. What's funny and ironic at the same time, if any of those school board members would have just talked to me, I would have never ran, and I would have worked for them for free, just because my children are there. They could put me on a committee. I would have worked for them to get them reelected over and over again. So I want Paul Bacoda to hear that. I would have worked on your reelection campaign, but you never even talked to me.
Wow.
And I don't trust him with the safety of my children. I just don't. You know, I was going to run against somebody in 2018, but we reconciled, and I supported him. You know, I'm not trying out there to start a fight. I'm out there just about the kid, just about my children.
Exactly.
And other school board members that 4 to 5 don't have kids in the school board or school district. That's an issue. They don't know what's going on, and they really could care less.
Exactly.
What's their skin in the game?
You know,
Here's
the
our
thing
little
is that
kids.
those elected officials, either local, state level, or federal, they need to be talking and working with
They don't.
other people and constituents.
They're
So in
lazy.
that way, exactly.
You know, everyone thinks it's a conspiracy theory, but it's not. It's a lot that 90% of the time they're just being lazy.
Yeah, and they're not getting the job done. So the thing is that there's no transparency. So this is my game plan. When I get the seat in the House in November 2020, my plan is, of course, we as Congress, we are in session 1 week and then off the next week, right? So I'll be flying back, you know, and doing a live at YouTube. So my constituent can get on and I'll inform them on different
I will
bills.
come to your office and we'll have a mobile studio, not as crazy as this, but we'll have.
Yeah, that'd be
I'll come to
great.
your
I would
office
love
and-
that.
And I'll set you up with a little studio in your office. When every time you want, you just press the button, and
live it.
Yeah, you can, or you can stream your office.
Exactly.
So if constituents want to see what their representative doing, they just chat with you, and you'd be surprised. I know you. You're gonna have like an army supporting you, and you're probably gonna be this. We're probably gonna watch each other get old and gray. I'm gonna see you in 20 years with your hair all white.
Oh my goodness.
Wait, maybe 30 for you.
Gray.
Yeah.
Maybe gray hair.
Yeah, I'm sure when we're eventually all silverbacks, really old, and you know, and Cole over there, he's running for Congress, and we're super old and everything. And
But hey, at least we have a legacy that we can pass on to the next generation and that we can be proud of. A legacy that we did something for our children, our family in California and America. So that's what I am proud of and most proud of, even though, you know, we're just normal, you know, Joes, but yet we have a heart that we want to fight to keep America free and our children safe and our vet taken care of and addressing the issue. And I know as you being a vet, you know, I have, my dad is a vet as well, Vietnam vet that helps the American fight the VidCon. So you guys have a special place in my heart, you know, the veterans. And I want to address the issue. Even though you guys come back from the war, you guys are traumatized, you know, PTSD with, you know, different issues. But the thing is that you guys have medicine for help already, but I want to incentivize more a accountability of where we can help you get back in society.
I have an issue I can bring to you once you're elected. This is an issue that Tulsi Gabbard was helping me. I know you ever heard of her? You heard of
Yeah,
her?
she's
Well,
candidate.
she was at Hawaii. You know, I was
for
stationed in Hawaii, and I'm still trying to fix it.
Mm.
I had 4 of my soldiers wrongfully discharged while I was their commander, and Lou Correa of the 46th Congressional District and Tulsi Gabbard were helping me. And actually, Katie Porter wasn't answering the phone. So I had literally, I had a conference call with Tulsi Gabbard's people. Tulsi Gabbard emailed me direct. She had the time to email me. My school board member wouldn't. My own congressional, Katie Porter, would not. That's why I support like anybody.
See, that's why they need to be out of office.
Yeah, she would. She
If
wouldn't.
you're not doing your job, this is the thing.
Once we had signatures from Tulsi Gabbard and Lou Correa's office leading it, and Tulsi was helping. Once they had signatures, both of them, it was kind of embarrassing to Katie Porter. So she ended up not only signing it with them, like I can show you the documents.
That's awesome.
And she ended up hiring a veteran. His name is Gage.
See, the thing is that pressure, you know, to do the job. So the thing is that if you are going into public servant, which is elected official running for office, you are a public servant to your constituent. And that's your job. That's your calling. That's what you must do, is take care of your constituent and do the job for the people. The power belongs to the people, and they're the one that hiring you as a congresswoman, congressman, assembly, senate, city council, mayor, school board, whatever position you're running. They're hiring you. You got that job because they hire you on. So the power belongs to the people. We need to bring that back. And this is a challenge. I want to challenge everyone who's running for office and get the seat. If you don't do your job in whatever the term you have, 2 years before the next election or 4 years, then the people have every right to vote you out, and they should. They should. If you're not doing their job, my congressman, who's been sitting for 7 years, have not fixed our homeless problem in our district. And I honestly challenge him, when I get that seat in 2 years, I'm going to get that done. In my district. I'm not talking about California. In my district. We're going to get that clean up. And if I don't, please vote me out. I want you guys to vote me out. And this is what I'm going to sign. And I challenge Lowenthal to sign onto it too. And challenge him to take care of
I know.
himself.
Well, first off, you're his worst nightmare. Once you make the primary, you are.
Yeah.
We both know that.
Yeah.
Okay, you have more good comments. Amy is great. Everyone seems to like you. So anyway,
thank you, James.
And okay. Oh, Melissa Snow says she loves her passion, raw, brutally honest, strong. We'll pray you win. Donated. Oh,
thank
that's
you,
awesome.
Melissa.
Thank you.
Yay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your support.
I'm not sure if you can hear the sound effects, but we're having applause sound effects. So we got another donation.
Thank you, Melissa.
Really appreciate it. I think you're going to be, because we know this intersectional thing where they always want to support immigrants and minorities. Well, we got to. It's like you're like, if you were a Democrat, they'd have Obama supporting. They'd be like.
Oh yeah, not only that, they have
politics.
George Soros.
Yeah.
He's funding money to my campaign. If I was a Democrat.
Yeah, I'm going to be facing Planned Parenthood money. Do you know Planned Parenthood gives, if you support abortion, Planned Parenthood will give you money to run for school board because they want access to the kids. I got the emails from them for last election.
That's sickening.
Anyway, back to you.
Sickening.
I predict that you're going to make the primary, and then your friend Steven is going to help you win the general.
I think so too.
I think so.
And not only that, I think a lot of his friends and people are going to join in and help me win the November election.
I grew up here in the U.S., and it was surreal for me to be part of Don Wagner's campaign from start to finish. I mean, I know the guy for years, but I joined his campaign in 2018, helped him get elected, and to be a part of coming from off the street, talking to people, getting elected, and taking over the democratic process was really fascinating to me. And he appointed me, commissioner for a section, which was really interesting. And then you're about to go through it, and so March 4th, everyone is going to want to be your best friend.
You know what? And I want a team. Like on my team, I don't know if any candidate who are running have this expectation for their team, but I'll be vulnerable with everyone again. My team, day one, God has spoken to my heart that this is how I need to run it. I need to have a team of prayer warriors, and I do have that. And then I have a team that volunteers for my campaign, and I go, these are the requirements. If you agree to this, then I'll be more than happy to have you on my team. If not, I totally understand. So my requirement is you must have integrity. You must have character. And no gossiping. Because when gossip about a person, you discredit someone's character before someone gets to know them. That's unacceptable in my campaign. So if these are some qualities that match along with your belief, then I would love to have you on. If not, I totally understand. And every one of my volunteers, that I always have this hard conversation with them, and they say, yes, this is what I want. But, within the team, of course, I only address 3 person about that issue. And that's amazing out of, a lot of volunteers. And, my team, because people believe in what I'm doing to save California, to protect the 47th district, the Port of Long Beach for trade, national security, and also the airport of Long Beach and the base of Los Alamitos. It's national security. We have to protect it and defend it. And so I'm doing this for the people, and they see that, and they're super supportive, and my team is supportive. And you know what? Who else best to take to DC except for those who are running with me on this race through thick and thin? You know what I mean?
Okay, so I got something else that's going to happen to you. You're going to be you're going to win the primary. Then the 4th, the NRCC is going to come to you and say, okay, all of your campaign people are fired and these are our people. Then they're going to want to use the same failed strategies that lost them 3 seats in 2018. What are you going to say when they say that? When they come to you and they're like, you got to use our people. Because they're going to find out you made it through once, because everyone likes a winner. As soon as you make that primary, it's all going to come at you. They're going to sit down with you. They're going to be, are you going to keep your team, that core team that got you across the finish line?
I love that sound that they'll jump in and help with money and everything, the national committee. But honestly, I don't think so.
Strings attached.
Yeah.
You have to do it their way.
Yeah.
Their people.
See, that's not going to happen. And the thing is that I don't think they're going to come because they say I have to raise a certain amount, okay? And then they'll come in after the primary.
Yeah.
But you know what? If I blown this out the left field and I win this primary, just new and fresh to this.
First off, you're going to win, and they are watching. Trust me.
Yeah, and you know what? If they're sick and tired of the same O, and they're okay with that, then don't choose me. But if they want change and something new, and I guess the new AOC with brain, then choose me and back me up.
Yeah.
But the thing is that it has to be on my term. I'm not bought out, okay? Number one. You know what? There's actually someone who already solicited me by saying, we can give you over $100,000 if you do this for us when you get to Congress. And I go, I appreciate your thoughts, but no thank you.
Pretty sure they're going to do more than that.
I know. This was just one example. So what I'm saying is I already get this introduced to me already at an early stage when I start the campaign. But I told them, no thank you. Because I don't want to be bought out or pressured into doing something or owe someone something. And that's how it should be. As those who are running to represent the people should not line up to pocket, for themselves. It's never that way. Our forefather didn't intend it that way. That's why they have term limits for the elected officials to go do their job. Once they're done, go back home, farm their land, take care of their family and their business. That's how it should be. So I will introduce term limits, okay, in Congress because we need to. 10 years is plenty of time to do your job for the people.
Okay.
But anyways, back to the question.
Did you quote the Constitution there?
I kind of did.
Yeah, I think you did. I was like, that sounds really familiar.
I hope in Congress people understand the Constitution and know it.
I'm pretty sure like half of Congress hasn't even read the Constitution.
You know what the problem is that even state of California, even a commissioner do not study up on the Constitution. You know that, right? None of them read over the Constitution.
Yeah.
They should. It starts from local, state, and federal. All of us need to read it because that's what's holding this country strong and holding our freedom up.
There's how much longer you go. I still got to take everything down.
Oh,
and I
my
wouldn't
goodness.
mind chatting with you off camera before I put all those down. But we did get another donation, so
That's great.
let me just want to wrap it up and then give you the final words, and then we'll watch the outro. And stay tuned. Everyone that's watching, the last few people, I got something cool to show you in just a second. So thank you for joining us, and give Amy Fan West the last words, and then I'll cue the outro.
Awesome. So this is the thing. Join me. Join Amy Fan West train, legacy train. What would your legacy be in 2020? It's vital. As the people coming to the voting booth this March 3rd, 2020, they either going to be voting for what America means to me, socialism, or does it mean freedom? So if you agree that this country, America, means freedom to us, then you must rise and join me in this fight, okay? Because when you fight with me, this is the legacy we will have in 2020. 10 years, 20 years, our generation will look back and say, what the hell happened in 2020? What would they see? What would be your legacy? I know what my legacy would be, is that I fought with all I got for my children, for your children, for our family, in this great country that we live in and we have the privilege. So join me on this train. Remind yourself what kind of legacy you want. This is the legacy I want. Please help my campaign. Please support. Please call people in my district, 47 district, to vote for me, number one. And number two, donate to help me continue fighting for you. Thank you. God bless you. God bless America.
All right. See you guys later.
Hey everybody, Hogs Twins here.
Hey, do you live in Irvine, Orange County, California? You better be listening to Mark Nugent.
Yeah, you better be watching Mark Nugent Live for his political updates regarding Orange County, the school board, the city, the county congressional races.
Yeah, he's gonna make Orange County great again.
Yeah.